réaction mooy rek xanaa rafetlu li xew ci biir UDP because li xew mooy UDP woon nañ réew mi ne we're a democratic party suñu daal moom mooy party leader waaye ba tey bu ñoo tànn flag bearer dañ oo ñëpp ku bugg a taxaw nga ñëw samp sa ndindi ñu tànn kenn ci njëkk indi IEC ñoom ñoo conduct yëpp nga xam ne kenn du mun a xalaat ne am na foul play or anything ñu indi IEC ñu conduct élection si mu jeex ñu xam ne élection si jeex na léegi am na ku gagné waaye ñu def even campagne bi ci yar ak teggin ak respectante jeex na léegi so UDP moo gagné Ousainou Darboe gagné na waaye UDP moo gagné parce que gis na ne UDP is a democratic institution respect ñëpp fi nekk ci parti bi ku taxaw ak ku taxawut ñëpp lañ respect especially doomi réew mi lañ gën a respect wan leen ne lii mooy UDP liñ bugg ci réew mi loolu la ñoo wane ci suñ parti dañ bugg ñu am democratic institutions def élection ni mu waree xam nga dañu dee wax ne ñun IEC óoluñu IEC lañ indi pour ñu def suñu elections wane ne ñun dañ gëm IEC dañ gëm réew mi dañ leen a wax rek mooy def leen ri war ñëpp mun a nekk ci jàmm ak salaam loolu lañ bëgg so ñu ngi rafetlu victory bi Ousainou Darboe waaye especially victory UDP ak victory Gambian people. xam nga loolu mooy gars yi baro ñoo ko dee wax rek bi ko seen fit bee naaw rek soo di wax loo xam ne ñoom seen bopp gëmuñ ko xam nañ ne next election dinañ leen bëcci toog ci seen ndeq gi loolu moom ci biti la fanaan soo li ñoo wax rek mooy pour jéem a discourager nit ñi ne baro dina win xëy na jaru ñu dem campagne ñu dem leen campagne dem leen sànni seen carte sàcc bi amoon 2021 du fi amati. duñ sàccati élection fii te buñ sàccu duñ mun a am dara dañ leen dóor bu set 2026 ñu génne leen fi.
yalong candidate tombo ngo dawda makango kasiyal ndolonga candidate tombo ke jana hani council level lungo dolu jangol ka dule mol kala fe ñoo kurpeña la janne sako presidential candidate so makango is normal, it's part of the process. Politico nim makango lam nimmi malavi makon la politiko ko rebe ka dunno je fo se wala fana politiko dia makon na sunu ta doron woka ke sanga bengolt par politiko atenen krimba so le kata so we have to expect that but sign in that a candidate to mondoro everybody rallies behind the candidate and we move. I think the undecided Gambians need to make the choice now. It is not for us to come and tell them anything. They can see it plain. The country hasn't progressed. If you were buying a bag of rice before 2021, let's say at $2,000, it is now costing you more than that. And if you vote for Barrow and MPP, don't expect any change. I think it is Aristotle who once said, repeating the same thing, expecting a different result is madness. The thing is, Gambians need to accept that the great majority of Gambians now want change. Voting for Barrow is a continuation. If he cannot achieve anything in 10 years, what guarantee do we have he will be able to achieve anything in 5 years? Strategy will be to make sure that the people that they issued ID cards to, the ones coming from Congo, Gabon and other people, that we don't allow them to enter here and vote. That will be our strategy. What happened previously will not happen. And those that are registered in Senegal, we are calling on Ousmane Sonko, Diomaye Faye. When they were campaigning against Macky Sall, they threatened every other person from the sub-region from entering into Senegal and voting in their election or taking part in their electoral process. We are urging them to live by their own words and then ensuring that people from their own country do not come to Gambia to vote for Adama Barrow. We don't want that one, not anymore. Thank you.
mi ngoog bokki jërë ngeen jëf ñu ngi leen di nuyu bu baax a baax di am mbégte bu yaatu dal leen tey ci Eyeafrica TV ci suñu réew balaa ñuy dugg ci yëpp di leen jégalu rek ci yéex a door gi xam ngeen léeg-léeg nu muy demee waaye ñu ngi amaat mbégte beneen yoon dalalaat leen tey ci Eyeafrica TV ci suñu réew di am ci àllarba bu jot bu juróom-ñeenti waxtu yu jotee ñu toog fi di waxtaanee tolluwaay réew mi ci ponk yu bari yoo xam ne des koy faral di teg ci biir réew mi gis ngeen tey nuñ dooree programme bi xam naa dina leen jox hint xam ne tey programme bi kon dinañ focus ci UDP ndax flag bi BR bi boo xoolee all over ci social media yi since ñu ubbi li nga xam ne mooy application yi gis ngeen wax ji wala topic bi dafa change lépp ci UDP la ñi ci bokk ñu ci bokkul journaliste yi political analyst yi ñëpp di ci yëy di ci yàbbi kon nag tey finally bi nga xam ne nag def nañ that election bañ elect ki nga xam ne mooy lawyer Ousainou Darboe pour mu nekk flag BR bu UDP 2026 dinañ ci dikkaat ci biir UDP li ci xew ci li nga xam ne mooy election bi ci yëpp dinañ ci dikkaat ba mu gën a yaatu tey nag suñu gan du kenn ku dul ku bokk ci biir UDP muy Nyawuru Komma moo nekk suñu gan tey ci biir kër gi fii dinañ waxtaan ak moom ci ponk yu bari yu soxal langam googee di UDP gis ngeen taxawaay bi nga xam ne moom amoon na ko ci jamono yi process bi yëpp gis ngeen ko ramoon bi nga xamee ni yenn ci candidat ñu ngi doon ñëw def si seen interview gis ngeen ko loolu yëpp dinañ ci ñëw waxtaan ci ak itam ginnaaw bi ñu tabbee kii di Ousainou Darboe what is next fan la UDP jëm ak itam lu ci xew ni yëpp yooyu yëpp dinañ ci dikk waaye laata loolu rek ñu nuyu ko laata ñuy nuyu itam suñu panélistes yi di kontaan ci moom bu baax a baax Mr Komma kontaan nañ ci opportunité bi nga ñu jox ñëw ak nar a toog tey fii ci suñu réew ngir ñu mën a waxtaanee ca parti di UDP ñu bàyyi la rek nga nuyoo ak ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ñuy seetaan laata ñuy dikk ci waxtaan wi.
awju billahi min asheytaani rajim bismillahi rahmaani rahim alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin di la nuyu di nuyu waale panélistes yu fi nekk yëpp tey di jaajëfal ñu nekk si gannaaw programme bi mooy caméraman yi ak technicien yi ak the entire management of Eyeafrica TV ñoo waral bés bi tey because without those people behind the scenes kenn du ñu dégg kenn du ñu gis so ñu ngi leen a jaajëfal fu ñu mun di nekk di leen wax ne thank you for what you doing jërëjëf tamit pour nga invite ma tey because géej am na nearly 1 year ma ñëw ma Eyeafrica especially suñu réew waaye boo ma ooyee invite ma it was an honor pour ma ñëwaat fii bokk ci programme bi waxtaanee affaire réew bi comme ni ma ko dee waxee rek réew mi ñoo ko bokk dañ ko paccoo dañ ko pencoo so moo ma fi hésité di jaajëfal ñëpp tamit once again dana wax ne ñun mën a dugg ci àll kalaaj bi jërëjëf gar bi
yaa suñu panélistes itam ñu ngi fii ku ci mel ni Mr Bojang Sirifo Sonko and Ibrahima Niang su ko defee rek ma dawree ko ci Ibrahima nuyu la bàyyi la rek nga nuyu waat
jërëjëf Garmi amaat beneen kontaante ñëwaat fii as usual every Wednesday suñu réew di nuyu suñ gan gi ku nga xam ne moom he happens to be my brother Nyawuru di ko nuyu bu baax a baax di nuyu tamit suma brother bi Abdoulaye Bojang last week moom mënut ko doon mais ko alhamdulilah ñëwaat na di nuyu tamit suma beneen brother Sirifo Bayo Sonko di ko sant tamit di ko gërëm trop Garmi yow sa boppa tamit di la nuyu ak mboolem ku nga xam ne jamono ji every Wednesday 9 o'clock rek mi ngi cuun pour follow ñu on suñu réew programme bi di nuyu caméraman yi ak mboolem ku nga xam ne tamit cuun na tamit ni ñu déglu jërëjëf.
macha allah Mr Bojang welcome back.
waaw jërëjëf ñu ngi nuyu ñëpp di dalal suñu gan bi booda Nyawuru Komma di nuyu suñu fans yi ak ñu nekk di seetaan fii ak bitim réew. di nuyu suma special brother in Seattle Adam Niass daf dee follow programme bi a lot and ku baax la ak ñeneen mënuñoo lim ñëpp suñu nit ñi ñu nekk mile two comme ni nga ko dee waxee ñu ngi nuyu gars yi yëpp di wax ne kontaante la pour ñëw fii waxtaan ak nit ñi affaire yi réew mi ñu ngi tamit remind it's not part of the topic but Costa Road yoon bi dafa oba bon Garmi ñu ngi oba soona foofu noonu nguur bi nañ try ñu def dara foofu noonu is very very difficult di nuyu Sirifo di nuyu suma brother GDC Niang and of course di nuyu ñëpp ñu fi nekk jërëjëf
mi go yes Sirifo
yeah thank you so much Garmi famo gëda baake this is my platform but because I've been into a lot of issues, so I attend Mfamata Kanajang. Be Konan Kanajang to meet with my brother, my comrade. We call him General. So Nyawuru, to share this platform with him after missing this place for almost like 3 months, right? Or so. And Mr. Nyang, Mole Meya Lonko, I really respect that this young man. Mole Meya Lonko, I principle Sorobakela, he believes in his principles. And Mole Meya Lonko, I mean, the little engagement Naka Mensoro, I can see that he have Gambia at heart. And then Bidwala, the intention I mentioned Gambia for Allah se barako keje, inshallah, alhamu menti Gambia pour Allah sake. My brother Abdullah is someone I see a different platform with him. We are Nabim panelist, one of a very good platform, and here also we are panelists. He's a brother. Mole Mealonko Nadiam de Kalonko is someone who have wisdom. Abdullah is a young man, Mealonko. For me, I wish, for example, if I am from the word or the consequence of Abradamento, Nimbotaje, I will really, advocate for him prior to Ilanyatonko, especially in the House of Parliament, because he is one of the people one can see is the voice of the voiceless. So, I mean, Garme, you are someone very determined. In program, Nimole start Nyola, and I interact with all those people, and I know their efforts. But Garme, you are someone, you always contact people. You always want to see that this program and I will say thank you also. Today also is going to be a very good discussion. It's all going to be about United Democratic Party, one of the biggest parties in this country, one of the most democratic parties, the architect of democracy in this country. United Democratic Party. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Migo dinañ ubbi bu mu jokko gi loolu xam naa ci kanam lay doon pour yéen itam ngeen mën a react waaye président Barrow gis ngeen tamit moom it cabinet reshuffle bi nga xam ne def na ko wala changes yi nga xam ne def na ko appoint fii ak fële yooyu itam dañ ci wax am na yenn réaction yoo xam ne waaye suñu main topic nag UDP la tey Nyawuru ñu start after whole process bi dem fi apply interview ñëw ci election bi at the end of the day ki nga xam ne mooy lawyer Sunu Darboe moom lañ elect ci ginnaaw bi nga xam ne délégué si vote nañ pour tànn flag bearer bu UDP in 2026 ci vote bi gis nañ ñetti candidate yi nga xam ne ñoo desoon ci mbir mi doo amoon na fukki candidate ak benn yoo xam ne yëpp apply woon nañ Sunu Darboe bokkoon ci ñetti yi si desoon bokk na ci ki nga xam ne mooy lawyer Bori Touré nga am ki nga xam ne mooy Amadou Sané ak moom ci boppam Ousseynou Darboe but at the end of the day moom moo win moom mu ngi am 65 vote ñeneen ñi ki si mel ni Amadou Sané am 2 vote kii di Bori Touré am 8 vote after process bi yëpp ñu bari tamit réaction wala ñu doon bind ñu ngi wax ne xamoon nañ ko ne Darboe dafa ñëw win am ñuy wax ne am na ñuy rafetlu da démocratique process bi nga xam ne yéen def ngeen ko UDP but am na ñuy wax ne lu nit moom la rek kon amul ñëpp xamoon nañu obviously nii la doon demee tey nan ngay réacté ci yenn criticisme yi tamit but itam victory bi nga xam ne bokkoon nga si ñu waxoon ne Darboe mooy sa candidate te gis nañ ne at the end of the day loolu moo am tey boo ñu doon dikkaat la ci mbir mi ak process bi ak yi ci xew yëpp nga ak li xew tey jii nii tey loo ñuy wax.
Garmi jërëjëf comme ni nga ko waxee si gàttal wax bi waruta sori we start work today dama la ne it is a judicious democratic process am nga mbootaay bu nekk ak society bu nekk ak institution bu nekk am na luwaa ak sarta yu ndee teral lu ko doxal ko ji nga doomi aadama fu moo nekk rek mu romba benn ñaari ñetti nit fu ñoo toog di bokk xalaat di bugg a am benn bébét ak benn jublukaay foog ñu am sarta yoo xam ne moo leen a teete di leen yóbbu di leen mun a yóbbu fu ñu bugg a dem loolooy process te United Democratic Party du exception si loolu gis nañ ne wax bi bëri na comme ni nga ko waxee ku nekka si biir kër sax nga bokkaa sa sibling si benn kër waajurang fa broda sang fa sister ang fa waaye ku nekk am nga sa favorite sister am nga sa favorite brother ñoo xam ne nekku ne da nga bañ ñeneen yi why you confide in them more than the others that is human nature loolu doomi aadama bu yàlla sancee aduna bi la loolu doomi aadama mel noonu So loolu obviously that brings in internal democracy. moo ne ku nekk am nga right fi nga nekk nga mun a farfallu gis ne kii laa bugga mu doon jiit kii laa bugga mu doon flag bearer te UDP loolu la accord boppam ñu def process bi in a very democratic manner in a very transparent manner every process might have issues along the way or mu am certain lapses but that doesn't defeat the purpose or the main aim loo xam ne nga bugg a achieve mooy transparency equity and democracy te everybody ñoo xam ne allow nañ media bi ñëw cover am na process yoo xam ne media bi du fa mun a rombuñ fa waaye am na process yoo xam ne media lu ñu war a jël yëpp jël nañ ko bi ko nëbbuñ dara li nga wax ne tamit wax bi yes foog mu bëri because UDP is one of the biggest political parties and opposition entity la tamit te am na fu ñu jublu mooy 2026 te dëkk bi luy slogan bi si dëkk bi mooy ne let's change dañ bugg a change réew mi naka lañ koo change it's not by the barrel of the gun or it's not by violence it's by the ballot box loolu moo isi yëfi sànni karta soo sànni leen nit karta luwaa bi daf la may juróomi at nga xool affaire am seegaat ko seet ne na moom yow lu tax nga sànni ko karta ndax mu ngi laa defal loolu su la defalul loolu démocratie may na la right amaat beneen opportunity pour nga rectify loolu te Gambian bi loolu la luwaa bi may gaay in 2026 to do man waa am naa candidate keneen ak keneen si parti bi am nañ candidate that is the beauty of internal democracy because dafa am lu ma gëm dafa am lu ma gis si li ki ma baag ak ki ma support notwithstanding loolu taxut ne ma vilify or victimize others for exercising their franchise loolu seen doole la seen right la seen option la pour mun a bokka o ñoom seen boppa sampa seen dënd that is the beauty of it te lu ñu doon def yëpp di hype di back and forth is part of a democratic process loolu su fa nekkuto du ne waaye tey dama la ne we've turned all those pages over we have one target and one belief and one goal that is to uproot President Barrow come 2026 basically ñu doon wax ne xam nañ this is government of the people by the people for the people loolu lañ dee wax si démocratie the best definition in as much as da nga foog ne li nga foog waaye kenn compellut kenn go everybody know that when you were brought to the hall there all the media can attest to the fact that they show you that they open an empty ballot voting by proxy amul ku la toppa di la wane defal lii bul def lii yow yaay demal sa boppa tànnal ki la bugga nga binda ko o yow soo ko mënut a binda nga oo koo xam ne kooku nga óolu pour mu bindal la nga ñëw dib sa ballot nga teg ko fi nga ko war a teg foog naa ne dara gënut a transparent loolu this is what we have even at the national level ne sooy dem di sànni karta the same standard ak procedure la UDP topp waaye su nekkee yow nga gom ne loolu danga ko xam waaw loolu sa belief la waaye that doesn't defeat the purpose of democracy. Democracy will always not give you the leverage of the most competent or the most deserving or the most educated. It is the choice of the people that matters. And if you want to dictate, so dictate the outcome of a democratic process in an institution, you must have to be part of that institution to effect that change. It's just like nobody a guy, if the degree holder or the youth man who is out there on the street, change why he even thinks that going to vote is doing a favor for a particular politician, then you are not serious about change, you are not serious about development, you are not serious about yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you make, this is a saying and an old adage, if you allow irresponsible people or foolish people or people you think are undeserving, take responsibility of how you eat, where you sleep, what type of roads you have, what type of hospitals you go, then you don't have any cause to complain. This is the price intelligent and educated people pay for not taking part in politics. And let them not see politics as an avenue where some people are opportunity. Of course, in any work or in any profession or in any art you see, some people are not in it for realistic things. They must have ulterior motives. But some people who are there genuinely for what they believe in, they should not be castigated. What will they has? They learn compare or they learn buga classify under one umbrella. Ne politician ni dinde jup. Politician ni then they were ahead. Politician ni amun interest they are all the same. Lolo, I don't agree.
Okay.
Because the importance of politics, there are three things you have to look. Is the personality of the individual. Mom Kim Don. Character. Moy jiko. Ak integrity. Lolo dafa importance si doomi aadama. Mom gor ci kaado. Jiko si lañ la xolé daka bi ni fi julit o christian yàlla lum dee was yëpp si yonante bi moo gën si bépp mbindeef lum dee was si moom jikkoom rek la dee wax doomi aadama bu amul jikko warloo ko mun a óolu si dara mun naa def lu ne si christianity tamit luñ gom son of Mary mooy Isa ibn Maria lan lañ ko dee emulate every time jikkoom ak sacrifice am so xoolee yooyu yëpp nga boole leen it comes back to politics and in everything we do including religion politics ang fa even the establishment of the religion politics ang fa they give just a very good example in Islam in the pillars main pillars one of the greatest pillars and achievement of Islam when it was being established is Omar ibn al-Khattab al-Faruq coming to Islam. Because amoon na ñaan bu yonante bi doon ñaan am na ñaari Omar yu mu doon wax ñu war a ñëw su amee kenn pour diine bi war a stabiliser te gis nañ ne kooku bu mu ñëwee many progress yu ñu am si sariya bi ak si diine bi Omar bokk na si ñoo xam ne taxawal nañ ko so lii dafa nekk loo xam ne if you believe in the process you join the process and determine the outcome of the process. But it was judicious, it was democratic, and it was transparent because nobody compelled anyone to do anything otherwise than what you think is real and good for the political party, United Democratic.
Yeah, you know now those pages are torn. Like Luron Xewxeyna da ngeen nekkoon ci process boo xam ne démocratique ngeen war ngeen démocratie ngeen bëggoon a wane ne seen parti bi am na ko muy dat internal démocratie but after bi ngeen sélégué wala élégué seen flag bi ba pare nag wax nga waxi benn main target bi ngeen am mooy 2026 ñu bëri jàpp ne comme seen dat flag bi select ngeen dem na élection juróomi yoon yoo xam ne winut ñu bëri jàpp ne this election tamit daf koo ñàkk ba am na ñuy wax sax congratulations to the incumbent in advance ndax loolu tamit yéen bàyyi ngeen ci xel ak itam nan la leen mën a def pour 2026 ndax jàpp ngeen ne seen dis candidate wala flag bi mun naa win election yu ñu jëm ne
it is rather unfortunate ne dëkk bi fii nit yi they are not consistent duñ dee wax benn wax yow majority ñu dee wax loolu ñoo taxawoon a year ago or 2 years ago ak gom-gom bi ak believe ne the election was rigged dañ ko sàcc ñooñu ñooy ñëw toonaa di wax ne they don't believe that ANM Ousainou Darboe can win an election because ñun dañ dee dégga révélation yu bëri how true it is mooy ne ñu ko dee wax ñoo xam ñooñu mun a wax loolu waaye ñun am nañ gom-gom ne he is our candidate and he is the right choice of the people waaye I get flabbergasted man dama dee waaru ci Gambian doomi Adama soo ko seet affaire am nga ko seega especially when it comes to looking for public office am na yu nga war a seet si moom mooy jikkoom track record am ak lan la bugal réew mi yooyu ñoo di most necessary things yi nga war a laajte waaye if somebody who wants change really mu ngee wax ne dëkk bi doxut lopitaan yi amuñ garab Mr. Bojang jóge na ko wax fii yooni Costa Road bi I live at that end it is in a terrible situation you live at that end yet still you want to endorse and tell me because of whatever personal thing au moins ne yow ban façon bañ nga bañ nit ak mbootaay da nga bëgg a dëkk bi mu jaaraat si loolu ba yeneen juróomi at you are not doing that to anybody. You know, when we want to change this country, you are not doing anybody a favor. Xam nga lii dafa war a sink in. You are not doing it for the politician. You are not doing it for the teacher. You are not doing it for anybody. You are doing it to yourself. You know, marché bi amul marché NPP amul GDC amul marché UDP. soo fa demee duñ lay laajte sa tur sa sakantuma foo jógee ak ki nga faral. The status quo foofu lu apply si Samba mooy apply si Demba. Mënuloo bañ nit ki oo mbootaay ba nga loraale sa boppa. Majority ñu dee wax loolu you want to change. Look at the options that are available. Xam nga man li ma dee wax waaye saa yu nekka Gambians should so pass that. Da nga am political arena yow nga ne option A B O C. There is normally man ban election laa gëj a gis fii mu am 2 candidates. That was only when Yahya Jammeh only was running with Ousainou Darboe. But after that 2016 ba léegi you will have multiple candidates. You cannot tell me among the lot you must not have seen somebody nga gis koo xam ne yow da nga bëgg a àndaa moom pour change réew mi dafa am loo bëgg a kon dafa am loo nar te dafa am loo xam ne mu ngi si politique everybody cannot have the way you want it to be mu demee noonu loolu tax ñu ne démocratie mooy lan voice of the people loolu tax démocratie ñu ne na majority carries the what vote because su ten nit toogee juróomi nit seen xalaat doon benn ñooñu ñooy am yeneen ñaar yi mun nañoo xalaat leneen waaye taxut ne ñooñu tamit am nañ xalaat soo gisee ne nga ne UDP tànn nañ Ousainou Darboe yow Ousainou Darboe mooy sa problème kon yow da nga am problème de kon ñooñu dañ am mbootaay dañ am groupe boo xam ne dañ góom Ousainou Darboe te af na loo xam ne dañ góom Ousainou Darboe nekku ne turam ANM la nekku ne dafa gaata oo dafa jool jikko ak yaakaar bu ñu am ak nu mel ak taxawaayam si bugga réew man soo ma laajee tey dama laa wax man duma musa toog duma musa bàyyi politique ba su nekkee ne man li ma bugga réew mi gisuma loolu te dama continuer di wax man suma politique soo ko seetaanee when yaa credit is due dama ko dee wax where criticism is due dama ko criticize loolooy doomu réew bu baax waaye yow su la laajtee yow nga nekk a grown up nga nekk nit koo xam ne da nga àndaa sa sago garmi lu tax bugguloo garmi amuloo leen wax kii paala kii lii la kii lale la ba pare dëkk bi dañ ko war a moytu torop dafa am loo xam ne rhetorics la it's a funny game loo xam ne politicians yi some dañ ko dee play for their personal games mooy di use this tribal trump card it's bad for our society Gambia fii dëj su amee man du ma dee gis tribe ngeen de su amee si koñ yi fii doo dee xam kanaay kan ñun ñooy jamalante ñun ñooy demalante nawetaan su jotee fii Ibrahima mu ngi nii fii laata ku daa fii la dëkka koñ bi ma dëkka xeet yëpp a fa dëkka du Pël du Joola du ñun ñooy hype together we sit together drink together celebrate together in the Ministerial come back home with either a victory or a loss but we are only one people su ñoo dem si lopitaan bi you see the Gambian humor. This Bojang is my brother. When you go to his workplace, all the people he work with, probably man, they don't see at the same time with him. He's working with them amicably. Environment am ñu fa dee toog boko ñoom head waaye musoo dégga loolu doo ko dee musa dégga until there is time for presidential election especially even in our parliamentary elections doo ko dee dégga ak councillors. It's only when we are looking for number one man in a parade lan mooy problème bi. We should have self-reflections. Doomi adama ida julit nga o Christian war nga xalaat sa diggante ak yàlla nit su la essayer programme bul xool nit ki kanamam o jëmam xoolal lam laa wax nga déglu ko waarekat dañ la dee wax bul xool jikkoom loolooy xool lum laa waare ndax loolu moo laa njëriñ ndax du la njëriñ politique noonu la mel waaye yow mënuloo toog comme ni nga wax yow bugguloo bokka si dara da nga bugg a nekk Facebook warrior on the keyboard they has every candidate is either your way or not. No other person's way. Lolo, do democracy. Flag bearer become no matter we go 11 need to apply. Why need you couldn't buga kokulantan? You cannot question that. You cannot mystify that. Mun loko def lu bon, mun loko ñaawlo. Lolo, do nekk loo xam ne mooy yóbbu réew mi comme ni ma la wax if you are serious about changing this country we have to put hands together in whatever form that is possible to salvage this country, or else it is going to be perilous for everybody. Ñeppay ñam si bagasi. Amut golo, amut gong, ñepp ko ñam. So ko ñamut si sa pañe marché bi den ko ñam si sa lali lopitaan. So ko ñamut fofu si sa pass wi dem jaara sooma den ko see ñam. So ko ñamut si marché bi den ko ñam si tali bi si fay pa. So ko ñamut si lolu tali bu bon bi sa moto bi spare parts yi den ko see ñam. So ko si ñamut si prix essence ak si gasoil bi den ko ñam. Kan la ci bay amut élite amut ndaare amut dara. Dekaloo tax suñ ko defar dañ koo defar pour ñëpp regardless of the status quo o kii mooy kan kii fan la jóge courant su amee fii ñun ñëpp la dee faj waaye kimi kamaj courant amut te lu ñoo wax all the time dama ko dee wax the cornerstone of every development is energy. When you cannot even have energy, it is monetized, it is even beyond your jurisdiction. It's sad. After 50-something years of independence, Gambia cannot even man up its own energy. Everything we have is foreign in this country. 98% of our energy is subscribed outside. Yii la youth si war a xalaat.
All right. dinaa ñëwaat ci yow bot bii bàyyi ma ñëw si Bojang balaa may dem si Mr Nyang ak Sonko Mr Bojang gis nga UDP léegi elect nañ lawyer Sunu Darboe mu nekk seen flag biara gis nga process bi nañ ko defee am na ñu bari ñoo xam ne ñu ngi praise that process di wax ne that's democracy in it gis nañ ñu demee am na sax ñu invite yeneen parties bot tamit criticism am na ci ñu bari ñu jàpp ne xamoon nañ nu muy demee ak yooyu noonu yëpp yow nan nga ko gisee ak tamit ñu sa léegi lawyer Sunu Darboe as their flag bearer jur na tamit public reaction but different gis-gis moo ci am ñi jàpp ne that's not the solution and in fact am na ñuy congratulate sax di other camp yow ban analyse nga ciy def.
di sant yàlla affaire bi am na si jaama at least dégguma ne doog nañ fa nit wala nit am na foofu any big issue. ñun suñ toogee si plateforme bi dañoo waate yàlla tax our observation waaye balaa ma ñëw si observation personally dama bugg a suñu guest bi laajte ko mu leeral yéene nii then I can come in. For example, I understand that da ngeen am criteria bu ma gisoon ngeen publish like you need to give us your 100 days loo bugg a achieve something like that. You know, and that lolu sune dara lolu moy manifesto or agenda candidate be. Okay. Gis na lolu no. Now what I don't understand is the issue of that agenda. Gis na consultation tamet. Bu ngeen wane da ngeen am consultation around the country. Consultation bobu non the candidates were part of it or it is the selection committee.
No, the candidates were not part of it. Okay. When they went through the interview, then for good governance and good practice, innovation, that they want to go to the grassroots, every region, out of the 8 regions, to sound the mind of the ordinary grassroots politicians. You have no days any cut. It's like all the 11 candidates. You can just silly, hamga konda. Yow kii da nga foog ne mu ne lii ak lii la bugg a defal parti bi su ñëwee suñ ko tànnee.
I was on the ground because what is acting.
Yeah.
I was part of the team.
Okay.
Foog naa ne dina baax pour man ma leeral loolu. Okay, process bi comme parti bi dañ invite all the candidates for an interview and it was told to all the candidates ne this interview the percentage, the pass mark for the interview is 60. But we are going to the ground also because politics is about the grassroots. So you cannot just make a complete decision here without going to the ground. So now we went to the ground. We invited the ward executive members, the consequence executive members, and the regional executive members. They then invite to the regional bureau and we give them a form. These are the 11 candidates. Ñu apply United Democratic Party. And form B, dafa am different stage you am ñoo fa nekk like candidate binda, do you know the candidate? Low Hamsi candidate, I mean like Jigoyambi and candidate be like how they are familiar to the candidate, understand? And then did they actually want UDP to select that very candidate? So then develop throughout the country, work time, it's not even work time, sir. We only give them the form and they fill it. You understand? They make it, every ward, every constituency, every region, they all put their scores, like how do you grade that very candidate? So resource bobu is 60 for vitamin is 100%, 100 but like 60 is the pass mark there. So after, then tabulate all the resources together, multiply it and put it into 100% also. So Lilendef, Ben make sure
the form indicate the agenda, at least the 90 days agenda of each individual candidate.
No. The form actually did not actually indicate that one there. Okay. So it was the response, to make you, Lee Mota, one of the interviews, some of the candidates who came to the interview ground, some of the candidates are so brilliant, you understand, and they come with a very good idea. But the problem is, some of these candidates, they did not have no connection with the people, with the electorate. And election is about...
Yeah, for dina ask another question, because yangi ñew question bu mu bëggoon laaj xayna moy mbiru lawyer Lamin Jedaaw. Because of biñ ko waxé né mom he is not qualified. Ñepp react nañ how? Because of ñu bari japp nañ né comme am na di competence ñu bari japp nañ xeyna mënu nañ ko jital pour mu nekk di flag biara, but disqualification bi ci mom dafa jaaxal ñu bari xeyna yow di nga mëna explain
okay so
naka la demé
so kii ni Lamin Jedaaw mom so xolé interview
ak ñeneen ñi yépp
no let's be specific on Lamin Jedaaw because mom is a key figure yamne dafa drop on, he did not go to the next stage. So Lamin Jedaaw so xolé manifesto am bi and so his qualification and others, you understand? He already qualified from the interview. Lum present to the ground at the interview, never qualified in that very place because the pass mark, he passed the pass mark at the interview. But if you come to the grassroots engagement, he did not have the threshold at the grassroots engagement. So, but if you put all of these people together, 11 candidates know them on interview. But out of the 11 candidates also, the first three from the interview ground, the first three qualified candidates we had the same three qualified candidates after putting the grassroots and the interview, where the first three also didn't qualify. In fact, two of them were short with the number when you put all it together. But the Central Committee, they have to even go for a resolution.
No, let me help you. What Mr. Bojan is asking, Mr. Bojan, look more like when they went for the consultation, each of those 11 members sent manifesto. The grassroots were privy to that. No. And the reason being, we all know that the literacy level in this country is not like that of the developed countries. But 11 people with 11 manifesto, the time frame, being over a jail pull experience each and every one of, because every regional consultation, you meet more than 200 people, including the ward executive, that is the most grassroots, from the councillors to the parliamentarians to the regional chairman. Limoy category, because on a regional executive, you're talking about people who they are for the regional chairman. You will be talking about ward more councillor. You're talking about the constituency more deputy. So time frame, because it's a calendar that was there. Now we want to do this selection process with this process, and it was just good practice innovation. Putting you them sound the opinion of the grassroots. Luñ mëna def moy né ñu fa nekk dañ leen dé expliquer xam nga Ablaye Boja wa xam nañ ko dañ ko dé gis Eyeafrica xam ngeen Ibrahima Niang wa xam nañ ko dañ ko dé gis xam ngeen Baye Sonko dédét koku xamuñ ko because lo mun di buga candidate no matter what best manifesto you have, no matter how qualified you are. So I'm a disconnect a grassroots be like, yo, politics is about that. That is where votes are won, that is where elections are won.
Okay, Nyawuru.
Your qualification is Mr. Darboe Bingawa.
Dr. Darboe.
Dr. Darboe. Yes, we're not talking about qualification. Election, the criteria, electoral laws. Every good political party, so alliance electoral laws or the selection of your flag bearer, you must do it in line with the national criteria. Because so far, the flag is a problem. The fee, just like you bury, even some state ministers, they couldn't send problem when they were appointed because of their dual citizens. A citizen of one country and another country. So if you want to vie for the highest office in the land, you cannot hold that. But that doesn't even disqualify him at that stage. Lolo disqualify ko for because Lolo is a party internal democracy. So ko tane fofu tamit as flag bearer. Am na watu be balanyo dem nomination for the presidential election pour mu muna denounce citizenship. Lolo si mom la des. You cannot even compel him even after selecting him as flag bearer ne da nga wara denounce. Lolo si mom la des. Su ko denounce sut dafa am conflict ak loi te loi lu wa IEC lolo lañ ko tek ci kaw. Su nango tamit ak sartay loi réew mi lum d'accord mu denounce mu nekk a citizen of one country, that is the Gambia, that he wants to vie for the presidency. Lolo moy tontu bi ci lolu. Understand? But comme nim ko waxe interview component dafa am mark for each questions. You have your social questions that are posed to you, policy program questions. Understand the governance. Yow so ñëwé ñu tanala as president. Lan nga amal wa réew mi, lan nga mëna defal wa réew mi. Yow ci sa xam-xam ak ci li nga dé yëngu, lan nga mëna defal réew mi situation bu mu nekk pour génné ko si anam bu mu nekk si benen anam. Bobu benal. Social questions will be asked. So if I understand
now,
okay.
I can make my
okay, you can make your.
Yeah, now make your own analysis.
Now, it's understood, very well understood. Nga fahamle. Ning atranka democracy même fo. Aning levulo nyanta futala dame sign in Gambia. I don't think it's a very commendable job that the UDP had done in terms of selecting their candidate or flag bearer. The reason being, our guest, Mr. Brother Nyawuru said, democracy is government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Now, one, the process is flawed because it happened within a very short time. Democracy requires time, it requires maturity. If you want to give a position the highest sovereign individual in the country, and you said democracy is grassroots, elections are won at the grassroots, you cannot deny those people in whatever situation, because election is 2026 December. You cannot deny them the right to understand Lamin Darboe's program, to understand Ba Ousainu's program, and you cannot deny Ba Ousainou from presenting his program to the grassroots. If you want to bring that innovation of grassroots, why would they? How would they vote if they don't have an idea of what Lamin Darboe wants from Lamin Darboe's own explanation? How would they know Lamin Darboe if Lamin Darboe hasn't gone to sell his agenda? We knew Barrow within 3 months, but he's a president. And the point is not knowing Barrow as Adam Barrow. The point is agenda. Because UDP is a party of programs, policies. And based on program and policy. Now, also, as a citizen, not even a UDP member, I have the right to know what Lamin Darboe wants for this country. You cannot deny me because of time. You cannot deny me that because, it's internal. No, you are not making Lamin Darboe for UDP election. You are making him and bringing him up for citizens, the entire country. People need to have Boris' agenda. And they should get it. Whether you're in UDP or not, grassroots or not, that should be accorded the people. So Lolusu Amut is a flawed process. No process is perfect. But we want other political parties to learn from this. From our guest's own explanation, this is an innovation. It's like it's a new thing, as in going to the grassroots. And that's very commendable, highly commendable. I rate them so highly on that. But the fact that you are going to grassroots and giving paper and explaining, one, that is even a question that is not okay. It's a biased question. Why? People must and would know Ousainou Darboe than Lamine Darboe, because by nature, Ousainou is the face of the party. That question disadvantages other candidates naturally. That's a weakness of that question. The rigor there is very low. So if you now say, okay, I'm the Adam Barrow, I'm the Abdoulaye Boja, and you want to base your judgment or part of your judgment based on that, it's unfair to Abdoulaye Boja. Because everybody knows Adam Barrow, including Barack Obama. You know Adam Barrow, but Abdoulaye Boja, who knows the wives? So that, if that is the democracy you want people to judge or to select based on Yalone for Imalo. That is a weak process. So I think people or UDP or any other political party in the future, what they should have done is let them give themselves the time, let them not rush it. And it would have been better if these people had presented their own case after doing it with the committee to the people, Gambians, most especially the party, whatever, who would do the decision or the voting. Because if you want to vote and you don't even know my agenda, what are you voting? Based on what? Or Hambunyko? That is not the 21st century politics we expect, in my opinion. Okay. So if that is the case, I think that is flawed. That agenda of each individual applicant should be sold by the applicant to the Gambians and to those that would make the decision at the end of the day. Now, I would ask, how do these people then vote? You don't even know what Lamine Darboe has in store for the Gambia. So how do you decide on Lamine Darboe's, candidacy or his whatever? I cannot understand that. So if that is how it went, there is need for improvement in that area. You come to the other aspect. I think we have to give it to them. I'm not saying it has never happened, but I think this is the time that we've seen political party like UDP going to the grassroots and then doing some consultation. That is commendable. It's very, very commendable. You need to have that connection with your people. You need to give them a chance to have a say. They need to understand things. That is why, legally, the Constitution said you must be told in the language that you understand the reason for which you are invited or you have been arrested. The electorates must also understand. It doesn't matter whether they know English or they don't understand English. They should have been told what is Baba's agenda in 90 days. They probably could have known it or had known it, but the process requires them to know. You can have new voters. You can have people that leave Lamen and now went back to Nyani. They need to know. Now, if these are things that actually do not happen, those are lapses that no political party should repeat. To the voters within the party and even the outsiders. I was really interested to see Lamine Darboe present, see Baba Darboe present, and other people. That way, I will know, okay, these people, even if they bring this one, this is the reason why I will support. I don't support people because, the party selected him. No, I support people based on what I hear from them. That is the type of democracy that all of us always advocate for. So this is it. The time should have been extended, and they should have done that. That way, it would have given the voters informed choice, and they could have decided based on the agenda and policy, not based on Yenyinlone and Manyinlo.
Okay, I want to, it's very interesting. Garmi, let me come here.
Okay, all right.
It's very interesting. I want to address this.
Okay.
Mr. Bojan, thank you for your, I will say, observation. But I think using the word flawed is a little bit harsh. Because a flawed process is something that is deliberately done or is done in a manner in which it has limited the purpose of which it is created for. I told you in the initial statement, it is an innovation. It has never been done anywhere in this country or in any sub-Saharan country in Africa here. They've not done it. The time frame also, even the most civilized democracies, you have primaries, but they are not done in that manner. Candidates who made the shortlist, that's why the Democrats, the Republicans, you call them, they have caucuses. That is where the process starts, and that is not in the open. You will never see cameras there. It is only when they have 2 or 3 shortlisters who will be going head to head, that is the time what you're talking about is permitted or is allowed or is given. That is the time.
How many were shortlisted with UDP? 3?
Yes.
No, you said that is the time you see that.
No.
And again, you said it's innovation,
No,
meaning
wait.
if it is a new thing. No, let's you
What
use
I'm
English
saying,
word.
what I'm saying.
Honey, Punga don't understand before you go. Honey, Imam Moide.
No, I heard you. Because you're talking about the grassroots consultation.
No, allow me.
That is what I am addressing. No, I heard you.
No, you said it has never happened as far as your knowledge is concerned in the sub-region and in the Gambia.
Local language.
Now,
Local language,
with innovation, look Esla, it means dalila yu es ñoo wara ñew ak manam defal ko fo nga assi system bu es. Now, if it is not happening in America, that does not justify it doesn't happen here because according to you, do dan xew fofu nonu so su xewé fi, there should be a way to accommodate that innovation.
They did.
Then the flood we use, I'm sorry if you think it is harsh, but your next definition, what will I use? It has limited the potentials of 1, the applicants, 2, UDP members, 3, Gambians. Because we do not know really who Bori is in terms of in store for the Gambia. So that is why we said it's flawed.
No.
Again, if it is innovation, because it does not happen in the US, it happens first in the Gambia. You cannot use the US as a benchmark.
No, you misquoting or misunderstanding my statement.
Okay, I'm listening now.
So you say, Manela, you should not use the word flawed. I'm not talking about the consultation. What I'm talking about is now democratic. You know, when you talk about democracy, you have to make references because Gambia is not a country of itself within the globe. Whatever we do, sometimes we copy it from people who do it better. I'm citing examples. This grassroots consultation is an innovation. So when an innovation comes, you must have observations, you must have criticism, but flawed. No, it is not flawed. I don't agree with that. You can have observation that you think it can be done like the way you are suggesting, but that also depends on the time frame we're talking about. As a country, the Gambia, when we're looking for number 1 man in a parade, how many days are given to presidential candidates for campaigning by the IEC, which is enacted by an act of parliament? How many days are given for every candidate to go and traverse the length and breadth of the country?
Maximum 3 weeks.
Maximum 21 days. Who in the Gambia can go within 21 days across a 10,000 square meter plus of area where you need to also go and talk extensively to the electorate to explain your agenda so that they would understand?
It's different.
No, it's democracy we're talking about. It's
it's
process
different.
we're talking about. It's not, I'm giving you examples from where you're quoting. Because a party has a timeline. We have a calendar, a democratic calendar. UDP has a calendar for activities. Every year ahead, we have our calendar. This so-so date, the youth structure need to do this. The women wing need to do this. The central committee needs to meet 3 times a year. This so-so date, it is marked in the calendar. The flag bearer issue, everybody knows.
Was this the date or the month that this flag bearer issue ever happened in the past?
It is not in the past. Not in the past.
Okay, so this is a new date.
Yes.
Generally.
That's why I say it's a new date. I said innovation. Because to avoid the misunderstanding or whatever push and pull that internal democracy might bring, and the time frame it will leave you and allow you the leverage to bridge gaps that will be created by political internal friction. If you leave it too late, you will have less time to heal. You do it earlier, you have a bigger space
to heal.
We did it in good faith. Like you said, it's a learning curve. Like you've alluded to the fact that we know, obviously there are times there are strain. Everybody has the right to be heard. But it's difficult even in the most organized democracies or in the most organized. What you can say is the last three would have been given the opportunity so that their manifestos will be heard by the local electorates to know it and have a tete-a-tete with the electorates to be able to sell their agenda. We put that in the bag as a recommendation.
All right.
But for the 11, no, definitely, Mr. Boja, it's not even feasible with any time, with anywhere.
All right.
That you can go, 11 candidates will go to the rural Gambia, you sit down, and politics is not also, one thing we should also remember, and you should remember, if you are a politician, you should have a connect with the grassroots, not only waiting for times for grab political position and you show up. That is not a no-go area. John McCain or an Obama or a Donald Trump will start from the county to the district to the governorship, then to the... You cannot just come from the county. You want to become president of the United States.
All right.
It's no process. When you call it process, you're calling it a failed process and you are just giving yourself false hope. You are disconnecting with the electorate, with the grassroots, because if I want any position anywhere in the country, first I have to create a connect. This guy is alluding to the fact that he wants you to be the voice of the voiceless. You know why? Because of your proactive attitude that you have when it comes to national issues. Do you think that Ablai Boja with your masters, with your whatever, with your degree and your money, you sit in your comfort zone in your house? You want to tell me when it is time for Fonyi Bintang Kansala program, you come and show them. They will tell you,
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
I want to clear this.
Yeah, just few. Yeah, please.
Yes. You see, one, I think that is good, but we need to understand this. 11 people we are talking about here. It is not something that is not applicable. It is highly applicable. This is not going to be party funded. This is the 11 people who will meet the people. They can do it at their own, if the time is there. So you cannot say it's not feasible. It is highly feasible.
No, why I'm saying...
Two, I'm coming. It's not a back and forth. These recommendations are for Gambians, not you and I. Now, the other aspect is, no, he said it's not feasible. At a Kenola, it means, as a Kenola, 11 people we are talking about. It could be even a town hall.
I didn't say, I think Mr. Nyang, you have me. I didn't say what I said. I said it's not feasible within the time frame.
But that's what I said. I said the first misstep of the party.
It's not a misstep.
Okay, how do you want me to say it? You want to put words in my mouth?
You cannot.
Okay, how should I say it?
Your opinion, that is an opinion.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It's not a mistake.
But my opinion, you still want to have a take on my opinion.
Yes, but you also, I brought an opinion.
Let's allow this opinion. It's only giving this opinion.
Yes, my opinion.
I'm not saying.
For Gambians, for God's sake.
I'm not saying.
Okay, that's okay.
You know, this is Abla is speaking English here.
Yes.
A misstep.
Local language, please.
And an opinion, they are different.
What is
no,
misstep?
it's misstep. That means it's not done the proper way. It's a misstep. When I said I'm supposed to do this way, and you say it's a misstep, no. We said it's an innovation. First, that is why you have alluded to that fact. But when you put that into consideration, you know that in every trial, including scientific, geographical, agricultural, there must be collateral damages along the way. There must be issues. But you know what I told you? I said it's a learning process. It's not a misstep. A learning process doesn't mean that it's a misstep. You did it out of good intention. Then abuga def dara lo hamne ken musuko def. Yow li nga wax moy ne candidate bu nek war na mëna dem waxtana askan bi waaw su nekké bi time bang fa. Wax na la ne li it's not within the calendar. The calendar bi ni dafa hat dafa am lo xamne xam nga parti bu neka the most important thing luñ wara xaraat moy ne the unity of the party and the survival of the party comes paramount to any other process that we talk about here. Luñ mëna wax fi de parti bi den don bena ñuy wax bena wax mo gëna am sol. Ñu ne légui may nañ leen ku neka mu binna mu ñew. Wax nañ dëgg ne time bi ni gàtta na de waaye ku nekk am nga opportunity loolu tax in anything process am na loolu tax ma ne la soo ne bu ñu short list make it up to the threshold because interview anywhere luñ dem any Democrats interview dafa am njëkk a de ñu am threshold yow soo paasu threshold bi sax waruloo dem si second stage.
moom mooy guest bi after the am comment.
Wow.
For final comment. So man suma time moom moo nekk di jël. No, you have to allow me, my brother.
You don't have to blame me.
I understand.
Ablaye,
I understand.
You don't have to blame me.
But please, can you give me space?
I'm a guest today.
Yes, but you are not.
Because I used to be sitting where you are.
Yes.
All right.
So today
That's
you
fine.
have to understand
That's
this.
fine. Okay.
All right.
Yes, I just want to
Madam
finish.
Sunu,
I want to finish up this.
Okay.
See, the point is this. We are talking about democracy. So that is the point. Mota Manela, the first thing is the time. The fagata. So time, whatever comes next, you should understand that these are our observations, as you know, whether in science or when there are issues that will come along the process. But these are learning points.
Thank you.
But you cannot also dictate what I say in terms of my choice of words. It's a misstep. Again, Mr. Garmi, we are talking about a process. UDP is a big party. And whatever they do serves as a precedent, serves as an eye-opener for other parties. Us discussing it openly and frankly helps other parties.
Thank you.
UDP creates knowledge. If it is university education, for example, in terms of politics. You create and co-create knowledge. And what you have done, you have created some knowledge, you have created a precedent. But we need to also look at that precedent, Gisne, Limo Manchon, so that anyone who is taking it can now take it at a better taste. For example, the selection committee. I am UDP, for example. I want to know this guy who is heading it. I want to have confidence in him. For example, all those things could have been done. But why I do not talk about those is because they are secondary. What is important is those that are going to vote, including Gambians, because UDP is not selecting for UDP, it's selecting for Gambia, should have the chance to hear from all the candidates who applied. And that means if GDC is going to do a similar thing, please create time for the candidates to talk to people, internally, externally. That would help the committee. That will help the candidates, that will help this country. Right. That is the reason why we are talking, because UDP creates knowledge in this country.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes, Sonko, comme correction bi wala sax analyse bi nga xam ne Bojang def na ko ba Nyawuru indi ci tontu mooy lu mu wax ne comme like am na yenn rëq-rëq yoo xam ne am na ci process bi but bi ngay interview Bori Estabo Esture sorry lawyer Bori Esture gis nañ moom tamit rees na lu mel noonu ne ok process bi daa is démocratie but am na ay yenn rëq-rëq yoo def te moom candidate la loolu est-ce que tamit waaw so nan nga mën a ñëw si yow
Thank you so much. Thanks to all the analysts, the panelists, and our guests. So, yaje ablaka diamond for aning Nyawuru nyosabo bebe kan diamond. We will take note of every advice or every observation Ablaya put in place. Comme alialo nyameng UDP meta janne kabel 1996 mkanyada ko tombo kele watu dol soto dafon mbuka mo soto fon me alon ko amina ba fulo ko lafta UDP la nyaton ka yala so but alhamdulillah bi ntara mfutara level to patio ya realize ko nyanda ka bulo falling na koltole nyaji be 2016 even before 2016 nyosa bobe nje ko okay bankola loi ko momo yalon ko atambeta sanjita woron in lula amari nying ata president ya nyin nano nyaji so in the last congress menkata basse in fact you know nata najibe ko nyanta ka miroke pour ka you know moñi ni me yalon ko be dabo replace la wo sobol be yatina dol ko walatina no ya jembe you know I mean the former finance minister Ahmad Sane muta because miro be ko Ahmad Sane you know as a dabo replace no so I mean UDP went through all these things nata to 2016 atara yenna jama be muta you know but with all that patio nying asura nyoya nyama ye savero ko momo yalon electa ka UDP nyaton kaya woto mo nyim banko kanja lonnal siata bakel aman ko lonnal man siya barniaji be woto mo la mo sabadoro wala lela application o dundi anu niaji be Gambia la political tariko kono wo nyawna man soto Gambia la political tariko kono anu ñu wato wallet me alon ko binka democracy men fo woto mo o buka fo de asana 2016 bimbe democracy men fo ka woto mo democracy mo fenet me alon ko buka fo ja woto mo bari democracy be keri ñewya ñama severo keta lonnal be jang doctoral be jang mol be ñam yalon ko bi be diamu kan e ma apply pour que UDP la ñaton ko yanyinta ka ñini so but ala yake mo saba wala na apply o mo saba ñu fana ko tata ni silo la me yalon ko democracy la silo lam otumo democracy be doyar ñam bakel wala ñundi ko natana ka carte o fay ñu mo sabol tema in 2016 na carte fay ñu mo sabol tema ala yake adama baro na ganyo nata 2021 kabrin nata men kata wala ñundi ko safero la kata ya safero ko momo ya lon ko e mari il lafta UDP la ñaton ko yalla c'est safero kata kabin safero kata safero ñun tarato de central committee kabin safero ñun tarato de central committee nata na candidate ñulu inata na ke application ñu review so central committee na unanimous agreement so to ka ko candidate melia safe ndol as central committee mi yalon ko de patio dungole sembo dun to la ka tombondroke mola mi yalon ko nyaat abe patio nyaaton ka la ñun katre fayola oron tolu nañu kaytol melje nañu membeje ndol be mo tombo no ñu ko ne data ka usun dawo tombong ay patio nyaaton ko ya 2021 but ansa ko men democracy ñi mi yalon ko abe balu kan abe sembo so to kan sa yalon sa ya jël democracy just look at the history where it starts. But now, not only the democracy, the democratic level of the country, innovations are coming. So I had to sign, come to 2026 election, so now, it has to be more inclusive. Now, so we are not perfect, but we're now trying to get into the perfect way. So, Natanaka Kolol Dundije, Nyajibe 2021, there was no grassroots consultation. And I want people to understand. And in fact, there was people were not even called for interview. Let's just put this in the record. People were not even called for interview 2021. But now, 2025, for 2026 election, people were invited. All the applicants were invited for them to come and have an interview. And they were all given enough time, equal time, for them to have their interview. And the Bela interview solke yela kolta ye present. Kabri interview nyin keta kola fana kodenge. Another innovation. Wala nyindiko, now we have to go back to the people in the grassroots. Now, involvement now. We are involving the electorates now. Not only Kafoko, the central committee that Malabe Sila to make decisions. Now we want the grassroots, Melbe Duma. We want them also to partake in this decision making. So now, democracy member focus now, that the same democracy has given opportunity for the grassroots Melialonko. Ever since they were not involved into our party, our flag bearer selection, now they also see themselves involved. You see now, democracy is growing now. Okay, so, normally, even in our normal executive selection, but now to show it to Gambian people, wallahi azim, some people outsiders will think, we're just playing around the gallery. Well, wallahi azim, the three contenders it took us almost 24 hours to talk to these people. But the thing is, all these contenders, all these candidates, they believe they are following. We are trying, we are a democratic party, and Nyandaka make sure any process Nyandaka exhausted democratically. And then we have also done that. We allow the media to be there to do all what they need. No vehicle. So, Ablai observation, I will tell you, Ablai, come 2031, UDP can selection. And in fact, I think the party will even adopt this phone call, even a councilor, deputy chairman assigned, we will try to create time for candidates, they have the intention to apply for them to go and do grassroots campaign. Grassroots campaign. We give them that enough room for them to go and do grassroots campaign. But for our presidential, one thing we will do, now about Alabala, because these are things, we all know these are like the nature of democracy in Abegrola. So our contenders, for example, Nasiata, we can, screen it down like we did. You understand? So, but the last three people, because these are observations, these are things we learn from people speaking. For example, I heard what Madi Sobata have said. So these are things we will buy it. We actually have to sit and buy some of these ideas. Candidates will go to the Vital Online TV. Because not everybody can come to the wall. But at least we will try, we'll invite the journalists. They have debates. Contenders, they will have debates, and now the electors will be able to make their mind out of this candidate. Dumale moti meya lonko jang, asle moti meya lonko ala miro ala ferolu. You understand? Ayente la mind win for me to vote for him. All these things are things meya lonko United Democratic Party. But make sure we will do this. Now, in the future. All your observations are taken. I can tell you, all your observations are taken, but the credit must be given to the United Democratic Party. And if you look at the political history of this country, UDP will always start things and people follow. And I believe this process we have done, other political parties also have to follow it. Because UDP, student wing, to have a student wing in this country from a political party, I followed the UDP, United Democratic follow last time. University student wing. It was started by United Democratic Party. Disabled wing in this country, disabled wing, UDP follow disabled wing, and we are calling on other political parties to also have a disabled wing because they are people, they also play important part in our politics.
All right.
So there are a lot of, the youth wing issue, the female wing issue, all these things. UDP are we are the innovators. And Nina Samanang, I thank God, Gambian people, if you look at the structure, even our executive structures, some of these new political parties, I'm not saying before, 2020, 2021, to before 2016, but after 2017, many of these political parties, it's copy and paste from the United Democratic Party. So now, what I am saying now, UDP, Gambia, let me tell you something. There is no process in the world everybody will agree with. There is no process in the world. Let me tell you something. If there is a process in the world, everybody will agree with. Now, let's leave President Barrow there. Because now, but everybody cannot agree with one thing. More better son na kukilungula. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fon la darifon. Allah meyen told that is the creator. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala yung command. We believe ko Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Muslimaya dino wala mala dino. But what? We have Christians, we have we have different religious. So Adama Adama, that's the nature of human being. You understand? Right. So, but we really thank people. Okay. They bring in observation of Samakana, and we say thank you for your observation. Right. But we are also telling you, our candidate is here. Gambians, we have selected a candidate, and we have selected the candidate according to our best knowledge, according to the democratic principles to involve the citizens. Now our candidate is here. An election should be about competence. We have given you a candidate, he's been tested. Usenu Numukunda Darboe was tested. If you look at Useinu's track record, even before he became a political leader, Useinu was one of the most vibrant lawyers, one of the most veteran lawyers in this country. He stood for a lot of people in this country. Amanda Wola, when he was appointed as the vice president and the foreign affairs, we have seen how he connected the Gambia to the world. And look, let me tell you something. One of the biggest problems of this country is corruption. Useinu is corrupt free. Let me tell you this. If Useinu is corrupt, B, you Masakunda member Sirim B. Billahi wallahi tallahi. They will bring some of this. But Usenu is clean. I Masakunda Mara, Abada Masakunda Kono, Sanji Lulu, Sanji Sanji Warawula Nyong. Masakunda man finti, Yafago Usenu Darboe in translation. Gambian Kolu, Anna Gambeje. Gambian Kolu, Allah understand Ko. Gambia be tembo meant to be. If you look at the kind of governance system member Mbulujang, the only person today we believe ko messaging banko bondino, messaging banko put in the right destination. We need electoral reform. We need constitutional reform. We need a corrupt-free country. Hey, there is no other person. B. Gambia no ndike bulo chodi mena menket même nanke ANN Usenu Abubakar Numukunda Darboe. Thank you.
Mr. Nyang, nan ngay gisee process yu UDP ñëpp ñu ngi doon follow even bokku leen ci parti boobu parties yëpp ñu doon follow because UDP is one of the biggest opposition parties. Nan nga gisee mbir mi finally Usenu Darboe moo nekk seen flag bearer but process bi gis nga nu mu wutee but lu ci mënti am na ñu wax ne démocratie moom gis nañ ko fa te itam lu UDP def yeneen parti yi war nañ ci mën a roy ngir mën a select wala election seen flag bearer yi noo jàngate yow mbir mi.
Wow, the use opportunity be first of all, the congratulate ANM Usenu Darboe moom nga xam ne parti bi amaat nañ yaakaar si moom benn nangu ne moo leen di jiite pour 2026 for the presidential race. Di gërëm tamit ñu nga xam ne participate nañ ci comme nuñ ko waxee rek democracy has a price to pay waaye at the end of the day teg naa the most important thing yëpp mooy United Democratic Party wins because the party is bigger than anybody ku contest ak ku contestut te democracy moom dafay is different in opinion waaye taxut nag comme nuñ ko waxee rek opinion are meant to be respected so gis naa ne moom coow amoon na kii téye fii kii téye file waaye gëm naa ne daal right now moom teg naa ne the biggest tax bu ñu amagum ahead mooy to try to reconcile everybody because difference yi mu ngi si woon ida nangu nañ ko wala nanguwuñ ko differences ñëpp gis nañ ko waaw te loolu moom gëm naa ne parti bu war a dem jongante 2026 you need your house to be in order waaw so suñ jógee si loolu nag comme nu ko Nyawuru waxee ak suma broda rek sooy seet tamit comme si process bi man teg naa ne lu ma si gënoon a bàyyi xel mooy when it comes to voting because man xam naa ne process bi bugguma entirely maybe mu nekk lu nga xam ne dañ ko decide on voting lu tax ma wax loolu mooy because gis nañ fi Adama Barrow 2016 majority ñoo ko vote mu win 2021 majority ñoo ko vote ñu win waaye ñëpp xam nañ ne he is not competent so obviously process bi maybe yëpp suñ ko bàyyi entirely on voting pour mu mujjee fa wala mu nekk di last resort obviously mun nga am candidate bu nga xam ne dina popular nga am ku nga xam ne maybe tollu to that level waaye at the end of the day ku popular kii bi ko xam nañ ko wala ñu ngi koo dégga mun nañ ko koo jox whilst ku nga xam ne is more competent maybe moom popularité melut noonu within the party moo tax ñu koo deny so dama gëm ne in as much as maybe voting war naa count waaye war naa mun a am percentage bu ñu ko allocate waaye war tam mun a nekk di deciding factor because su dul loolu rek mun nañoo dem to a point bu nga xam ne competence du play waaye dafa depend on the popularity of the candidate so suñ jógee si loolu tamit Nyawuru am na lu mu doon wax ne comme nga jógee from here rek nga tëb ba si kaw xam nga comme maybe process bi dafa yomba comme nuñ ko rey ooyee waaye loolu tamit gannaaw parti bi moo ko mayee di parti constitution gëm nañ ne ñoom su nekkee ne dañ gëm ne loolu dina yomba trop because man gëm naa ne lu nekk dafa ram fu mu dooree because even pour nga understand everything about the party gëm nañ ne everything start from the grassroots nga jógee foofu nga ñëw so lii yëpp dafay nekk wee bu nga xam ne maybe dina la gën a prepare as an individual in anything that you want in a party waaye gëm naa ne nekkagut si party bi so I don't know nag at their own party level whether it's going to be part of the recommendations yu nga xam ne maybe ëllëg kuy ut di leadership maybe di nga am process booy jaar bu nga xam ne dina la gën a prepare dina la gën a connect with the people then dan nga jóg rek maybe war a mun a ut leadership bi so comme lu sawaa ji wax tamit suma brother Sirifo soo ko seetee comme suñ concentrated too much on the grassroots tamit kon obviously gëm naa ne is going to be very difficult in the long run su nekkee Ousseynou mooy continue pour contest pour mu am ku ko faa génne because leer na ma ne pour candidate bu nga xam ne dina ñëw gën a popular Ousseynou within the UDP I am not foreseeing it waxuma na nag du mun a am waaye I'm not foreseeing it so di nga gis ne in as much as debate war nañ ko doon encourage especially si last 3 candidates suñ shortlist because one nga am programme submit ko is one thing waaye nga am programme boo mun a defend tamit nit yi believe ne this is reality comme soo ñëwee you have the means to make sure ne di nga ko mun a implement loolu tamit teg naa ne Gambians yi ñu ngi ko si roon xaar to make sure ne at the end of the day loolu dina am in as much as comme disagreement am na wala comme suma waa ji Abdoulaye lu mu wax mooy ne bëggoon nañ doon déglu from everybody because ñun at our own level tey fu ñu nekka lu ñu fa tënka mooy programme and policy Nyawuru tamit gëm naa ne UDP seen programme la gëm an seen policy moo ko fa téye ba léegi waaye gëm naa ne moom maybe su gisoon feneen fu nga xam ne ñooñu seen programme and policy mooy gën a développe Gambie sax gëm naa ne bugg a Gambie am dina ko génnee UDP dem yóbbu ko si parti boobu so in as much as loolu tamit gëm naa ne lu ñu war a encourage la within the democratic process of the UDP even though process bi def nañ ko and people need to congratulate them for that because it's a process bu nga xam ne everybody appreciate nañ ko even though parties yi ñu ngi koo defee differently comme nu ma ko waxee last time maybe UDP ñoom amee nañ ko nii soo demee yeneen parties yi teg naa seen congress mooy determine who is going to be their flag bearer like for us GDC the last congress before an election mooy determine who is going to be the flag bearer so that congress tamit dafay open and everybody has the right pour nga war a mun a ñëw pour nga apply and nga contest for any position so waaye léegi nag suñ fa jógee di nga gis ne during the process yëpp dégg nañ coow bi wax yu nga xam ne tamit am na yenn candidate am na nuñ ko gisee yëpp ma believe ne waroon naa mun a ñàkka waaye dama gëm ne tamit parti bu nga xam ne comme UDP is a big party obviously different in opinion dina am waaye yëpp tamit waroon nañ ko doon teg in the sense ne we are all fighting for one party waaye si kaw loolu even gis naa suma honorable muy honorable Yahya Jammeh moom si boppam bu mu génnee obviously di one lan la mayor Talib Bensouda contribute towards the development of the party so man nag mu nekk wax bu nga xam ne rafetlu ma ko because it's not the time because li xew mooy sa contribution in the party because you are a member of the party which we expect everybody to contribute te dama gëm ne tamit ëllëg ku ñu war a mun a jiital in every institution it should not only be based on your financial contribution of a party so obviously mu ngi doon wax pour defar waaye dama gëm ne waxam bi dafa gën a yaaxa tamit because point bu mu doon waxee du mayor lu mu contribute moo waral teg naa ne lu mu contribute moo waroon a jox mayor di opportunity pour ñu war ko mun a jox leadership bi te gëm naa ne mayor was not also thinking in that line ma déglu suma brother tamit mu respond ko Nyawuru di ko wan ne certain claims yoo def they are false nekkul lu nga xam ne tamit am na so moom sax si biir wax bi dem na ba leeral wane ne comme yu mu doon claim ne mayor moo ko isi obviously yooyu dafa ñëw through the teg naa Chinese Communist Party so obviously by that time Usenu was in the government suma mistake da am I brother by the time Usenu was in the government right no I just want to be corrected so sam nga yooyu dem na ba ñëw obviously understand nga te wane na sa si audio bi Usenu mënut ko doon claim because by that time he was a public official te ñëpp xam nañ ne public official soo génnee mboolem loo am rek is coming back to the country so obviously di nga fa gis benn conflict of interest no because why after all this di nga gis ne puusante bi yëpp dafa am lu nga xam ne génnee na ko te jarutoon ko because dama gëm ne amutoon fa space waaye di nga gis ne xëccoo bi demoon na to that level bu nga xam ne nobody appreciated executive members of the UDP tamit dama gëm ne ñoom tamit nuñ portrayé seen boppa in this election lu nga xam ne is all within the same political party gëm naa ne I was not happy with the maana buñ si demee because after da nga dem ba nga xam ne gisatuloo si maybe ñeneen ñi demee wuñ si xel ñeneen ñi after xol lañ si demee so si the same party bu nga xam ne at the end of the day ñi ngee call for everybody should come back together ñun ñëpp ku jaala at the end of the day ñun ñëpp ñu rally behind moom te xam nga even su ma nekkee executive member obviously am naa suma candidate to me dama gëm ne process bi jarutoon sax pour man openly ma war a mun a ñëw wane ne I'm going to vote for A, B or C because tey imagine in the case of Mayor Talib Bensouda resign na tey léegi comme obviously resign am bi is going to be a pressure on those executive ñu nga xam ne ñu ngi ko doon support so since Mayor resign na ba pare reason ni mu joxe seet ko reason ni mu joxe mooy because Ousseynou dafa bëgg pour mu liggéey kum trust so meaning ne ñeneen ñu ko supportoon and they are executive member ñooñu obviously if they are going by the same message of Mayor then that means they should also resign
te lii yëpp soo ko bàyyee xel lu ko isi to this level mooy because ñoom ñëpp génn nañ publicly wane mais wane ne consent am mënut ko koo may so he has to resign. For example, Tamong Sedi mu ngi ko doon support. Maybe it's possible other executive members ñu ngi ko doon support. The other side tamit ñeneen ñi they were rooting for kii nii naka la tudda Ousseynou. So di nga gis ne all these issues ama gis ne waroon naa mun a ñàkka su nekkoon ne am na nuñ ko reorganiser woon in a sense bu nga xam ne executive members yi sax gëm naa ne comme nuñ si demee waruñ ko si doon mun a demee ñàkkut ku nekk nga am sa candidate when soo feelee ne I need to campaign for my candidate pour mu win xam nga mënoon nga ko defee in another way than affaire si tontu executive after doorante la mujjee si social media bi kii dafa gën a post ki la gën a pour post so meaning ne this was not an election for one party te suñu waxee ne UDP are going for 2026 mboolem kuy support UDP you have all right pour nga gën a wane ne Ousseynou is your candidate because now is UDP against other parties waaye bii nag it was an election for one party ma gëmoon ne waroon naa gën a mun a rafet on the side of the executive ba ñoom ñëpp dinañ ci dugg wee bu nga xam ne at least suñ ci génnee nit ki du xelaat whether I can go back ci ku ma doon against pour continuer ak moom pour support ko waaye dama gis ne lu ñu war a defaraat la executive si tamit they need to be caution wala ñu defar seen toogaay especially when such things is happening ñu xam ne at the end of the day we are going to result to one candidate and one candidate boobu lañ war a jaay waaye am na division bi nu moo amee doole rek dina isi so many consideration whether I can go back with a clean consent whether I can be welcome these are the questions you start to ask yourself te yii yëpp gëm naa ne at the end of the day UDP they don't need it because at the end of the day they want everybody to put your 100% to make sure ne Ousseynou will go to another level.
ok monsieur Komma damay ñëw ci question boo xam ne moom tax na pour ma indi ko pour laaj ko mooy division bi nga xam ne amoon na gisoon nañ ko ci process because am na ñoo xam ne ci taalib ok that's normal comme ni ñu koy gisee ku ci nekk am na foofu rafet yow sa waxoon nga ko but ni ñu ko gisee mooy comme ni nga ko waxee tontuwante amoon na Yahya Jammeh gis nañ ko mu def loolu audios yu bari bi taalib withdrawé yooyu yëpp wax ci ndax léegi tamit yéen yaa ngi ko wax ne benn objectif ngeen am wala target mooy 2026 pour ngeen jëlee fi président bi teg fa seen candidat muy Ousseynou Darboe nan la loolu mën a possible wala yombee ci gis nañ ku ci mel ni Talib Bensouda waxoon ne bàyyi na UDP but bi mu withdrawé ba pare dafa resign as the national organizing secretary for UDP gis nañ tamit yeneen yu si doon xaw ku ci mel ni Yahya Jammeh tey sax sot li interview naa ko mu ngi wax ba ne moom boor yi moo nekk mooy candidat am so dafa mel ni moom ba tey am na yenn yu mu jàpp loolu du leen affect ak yooyu noonu nan lay dikkee tamit ak yenn wax yi nga xam ne comme nu ko Ibrahima Niang waxee.
xam nga Garmi dafa am wax yoo xam ne. man nekkuma di right guy pour tontu loolu. am na wax yoo xam ne tamit su ma ko tontoo du ma ko dee tontuwaat. politicien bu nekk am nga right pour ut place UDP te internal politique su nekkee man du ma dee jàppee kenn dara te UDP bu su ñëw wane dañ jàppee kenn dara pour da nga support candidate A ou B waaye dafa am loo xam ne. doomi Adama yow yaa ko may sa boppa soo nekkee in such capacities as an executive member you can support and lean towards an individual or a candidate when you cannot openly be doing it that is going to betray the trust of the people who voted you into that portfolio loolu mooy man suma issue ak the entire thing waaye yow li nga wax kii farlal kii loolu anywhere la am. Yeah, it's not within, it's not outside, it's within. That doesn't give me or any other person to use that platform to spew or mislead people in things that are not factual. Secondly, Talib Ahmed Bensouda as the organizing secretary of the United Democratic Party. Whatever will help when it comes to his decisions to apply, Lua Mokomai, to withdraw, more withdraw, nobody can answer those questions. Because nobody can know the reasons. It's only him that can know the reasons.
Local language.
Why when it suneke ne ñun ken mënuta xam reason boobu moom rek moo la ko mën a wax. The reason why he applied is his right.
Waaye impact bu muy am ci parti bi tamit.
Xam nga impact bu moo am. Den ne UDP dafa open application for everybody interested to apply, including him. Amul benn impact application boobu bu mu am xam nga war naa la benn wax fii ku nekk
resignation bi laay wax xam nga ne decision yi resignation moom
loolu
rek moo mën a
dama
xam
ne resignation am man I cannot tell you that
okay but the impact I mean as a UDP member like
déglu ma
no I'm not asking the reason lu ma wax sama question déglu
No, why?
I'm not asking for the reason
waaw
because reason su ma ko bëggee ask I will ask moom laa ko laaj
waaw
waaye ma ne as the national organizing secretary mu resign te lu ko tax a resign gis nga fi muy wax sax wax na ne moom support politique boo xam ne politique yi xas la ak saaga dafa mel ni mu ngi dëggal ne jurin bu mu déclaré ne dafay apply na am na ñu ko doon saaga ba am na ñuy wax si biir parti loolu laa wax ma ne moom bu demee ba resign kon dafa mel ni even bu waxul lépp sax because yéen ñëpp mun ngeen observe even su waxul lépp mais bi am na lu ko naxari ma ne ndax loolu du leen affect ci li ngeen unity bi ngeen nekk di woote
unity buñ nekkaa ñun si loolu la ñoo propagate
ok
di nga affaire yi saaga ak yee fi haste du ma si dee bugg a sori xam nga nit soo waxee daal da nga am proof politicien da nga am thick skin dangay déggal li ma la wax Talib Ahmed Bensouda apply na nekka candidate pour ut flag bi resign na waaye yëf insult dama la ne last time bi ñëwoon naa fi suma last programme bi fii xam nga dafa am loo xam ne mu ngi xew si Gambian politics people should be very careful ñun grassroots politicians you see even members from different political parties not even UDP prepare audios to insult people to pretend that they are UDP when they are not even UDP ñun dañ am boobu experience fii du dee jee am na fii Latrikunda constituency fii Ibrahima you were aware a lady was taken to pretend as he is UDP insulting Jolas loolu gis nañ ko si réew mi fii so pour wen suñ demee daan waaye man kenn mënu maa won benn prominent UDP member officially ki ma xam koo xam ne da nga saaga Talib Ahmed Bensouda fan let them bring the proof loolu amut waaye ñuy wax loolu xam nga nit dangaa ne dama bokka si dara fekk yow lu la ci bokka lu tax nga bokka si yaa ko xam su nekkee dafa am lu tax nga bokka si loo xam ne pour réew mi la yooyu doo ko def ñun de fii lañ dee toog dañ dee am divergent views musu ñoo saagante tase nañ i plateforme yu bëri musu ñoo saagante candidate yooyu noonu yu ñoo wax musu ñoo saagante waaye Gambia fii am na ñoo xam ne bokkuñ si benn political party man loolu lay wax suñ ne sax maa ngi NPP o maa ngi UDP man ma ne bokkuñ because yow su nekkee da nga bugg a political party boobu noonu da nga war a accept the rules that are laid down pour nga nekk member waruloo mun a saaga kenn because lu waa parti benn parti mooy kenn pour nga saaga sa morom si biir parti bi sakantuma si biti soo ko defee nag am na yoo xam ne yow sax amuloo maybe official card you just show sympathy to that particular political party or you are leaning towards that political party di def lu la ne ñeneen ñi they are paid to do those things some of them are hired to pretend as they are even UDP to insult people yooyu man duma ko dee jël lañ ko paak because if we're gonna talk about that then fee am 10 years Ousainou Darboe is the most insulted politician in this country for the last 29 years musuta tax mu ne day ma dee saaga loolu tax ma bàyyi li ma war a defal bi ko am na lu mu góom comme dama laa cital example dama ne loolu warut a nekk reason for a politician you know what there are certain narratives yoo xam ne yow mun loo ko contrôle dégg nañ ko fii si political platform yi even executive political platform nit di taxaw di wax lu ñaaw si Ousainou Darboe from the highest office of the land what did anybody do about that no wait I'm coming loolu yëpp am na fi from the highest office of the land wis nañ ko fii dee nit defar na audio fii wax turam vidéo di ko saaga yu gën a ñaaw si saaga yi but he believed in one thing that in democracies you cannot force everybody to be like you. That is human nature. Even the kids you have in your house, some of them are very obedient, some of them are wayward. That doesn't give you the liberty to kill the one that is wayward. You just keep on counseling, trying to change the attitude until such a time, yala may la linga buga. loolu bokkut ñun bu process bi jeexee if anybody is a UDP member party leader advice la now this is a process and every process in any democratic process dafa am issues wax dafa am because yow dafa am li nga gom man gumuma loolu si the same party am na ki nga bugga man bugguma kooku taxul ñuy noonoo taxul ñuy xaajaale wax naa la ne réew dañ koo pencoo duñ ko paacoo parti sax dañ koo pencoo duñ ko paacoo ñun dañ gom dara the Gambia is bigger than us as a political party we have a bigger fist of rice that is to save this country from where it is heading to perilous island foofu la ñoo dem bugguñ ñu eega fa ku am intérêt si Gambia comme nu ma ko waxee bu programme bi commencé waruloo xool individual da nga wóol xool li nga war a xool mooy di status quo lan moo ñu wóor ñun si suñ dunda si suñ jànga si suñ wérgu yaram si suñ koom-koom si suñ duggante ak yeneen réew yi si suñ tali yi mooy infrastructure ak lu ñu war a gis si amenities yooyu moo war a nekk sa xalaat time bi ni politics is over campaigning for one's candidate within the UDP is over we have an official mission and that is one we want to unseat the president loolu mooy suñ jubluwaay kii lu moo wax fii nii ak keneen lu moo wax nii we are all meant to head to one destination mooy dañ bugg a change the status quo mooy leadership bi waaye dama ne divergent views should not be used as a yardstick pour mun a attack an individual ku nekk da nga am sa right waaye xam nga démocratie lañ wax démocratie ñeneen ñi dañ foog ne ku jóg rek da nga war a jóg si kawam wokkolu la ne you are as democrat in as much as you can allow other people to exercise their franchise and their democratic rights and principles without encroaching on theirs. Why some people they know what democracy is. Gambia, many people are not democratic. A democratic person should allow other people to be democratic. Tey yow wul nga wax lu la ne keneen su waxee rek nga ne jinga ndiw start te yow foo ko dee commencé doo dee gis boobu de soo see loolu la ndee waaye bu ko suloo sele tooje fanaa jiito su moo egg doo dee gis golo alali golo si lax yee fii lay ne xam nga ñu ne woy bu dee suxal gaal si tefes ñeme nga nekk digg géej nga woy boobu noonu kenn ñeme ñu ta def loolu réew mi wax naa la ñu ñoo ko bokk dafa am yoo xam ne those are just tactics and manipulative intention yoo xam ne certain politicians yi dañ ko dee am waaye yëfi insult du ma si dee bugga dugga bi comme man xam naa ne man du ma saaga kenn Garmi yow doo saaga kenn Ablaye du saaga kenn Ablaye will tell you the bitter truth in your face in the most respectful of ways but du la saaga that doesn't stop us from telling each other regardless of the status quo nag na loolu leer as a party we did our internal democracy wax bi jeex na party leader dafa am engagement 12th of this month is going for a diaspora convention we wish him well and we want everybody to come down regardless of everybody xam nga soo say wax nañ koy ko ne Sonko be keri ndi amokaja mo men diate mo ñoy ko wala fa pour ka ma ji so bon ba ne Sonko bantal de ku bento dindi won ne ku be ko ne la wato cité ko te la be la de son to lu ñoo wax fii nii si gàttal mooy ne waxi taami hulo ak taami ut dara sos dina am wax yu ñaaw dina am waaye su loolu jeexee ñu xam ne am na lu ñu boole lu ëppa xuloo boobu buñ doon def mooy réew mi Ibrahima tamit si waxam boobu da am few things yu ma si mën a adresse am na loo xam ne soo si d'accordee war ngaa mën a xam ne electoral democratic process the best practice anywhere and the last resort is vote that one cannot be negotiated loolu mënuloo ko def percentage it cannot be a component in the process it's the last resort to a process it's the determinant factor competence can be rated I agree with you if you say competence loolu mën nañ koo rate te competence intelligence plus character you don't need to be a certified guy to be competent xam nga fii dafa am loo xam ne dañ ko dee jaxase you mix apple with oranges Many people think that if I have a degree, yes, you are a landed guy, bro. You are certified. Yeah, bro, that's all true. That doesn't mean that you are even educated. We should understand this and separate it. It's not the same. Some people have gone through secondary, fourth, and ordinary high school. What they can analyze, what they can think for the betterment of this country. People are with their PhD when they are turned into what? Spin doctors. When they are turned to what? Sycophants for politicians who are using them at their behest. You don't call those people educated. Because education janga dafa wara jëriñ nit yi mu njëriñ la waaye yow loo xam ne soo ko amee yow rek nga bugga mu njëriñ la bugguloo mu njëriñ kenn yow soo amee si njëriñ rek ñeneen ñi waruñoo see am njëriñ soo dama ko wane loolu mun naa nekk fii competence kii am na master's degree jànga na ñaata language taxut mu competent nit nag balaa nga koo xam mu am competence tuuti da nga koo jot tuuti responsibility man gis naa ñoo xam ne ñu ngi si parti yow soo bëggee connect ak rural Gambia ñu jox la place bu ndaw sax mun loo koo doxaat you are too much busy looking for money when the time comes pour nga dem si grassroots boobu duñ waxaa yow de buro dëkk bi soo ekkatee sa baaraam sa ndeyjoor nga ne yow faale wuloo kenn ekkatil sa caamoñ nga ne kenn faale wula gan.
All right. Yeah, Mr. Bojang, nan nga gisee like Talib comme bokkoon na si applicant si but mu withdraw bi ñu bari nag moom waxut kenn dañ ko saagataay rek li xëy na wax na ne bëggut loolu nag wax na ne moom gisewut noonu politique muy saaga ak xastante am na ñu jàpp ne dañ ko doon xeex ci biir parti bi ba di ko wax yeneen wax yoo xam ne mooy loolu ba mu ñëw mu resign as the national organizing secretary withdraw tamit ci race bi yooyu noonu yëpp UDP tey am nañ flag bearer muy Ousseynou Dab muy seen candidate nan nga foog dat unity bi nga xam ne ñu ngi koy wootee ndax ki nga xam ne mooy Lamine docteur Lamine Mané wax na ko ne léegi seen mbébét yëpp mooy boolewaat ñëpp ñu nekk benn force pour mën a dem ci luñ bëgg muy 2026 ndax foog nga ne loolu dina mën a possible ndax kaam-kaam yi nga xam ne ñu ngi ko doon wax ndax si process bii rek loolu feeñ na si xam naa loolu tamit naa si ñëw ak Sonko Gambie bot yow loolu nan nga si jàng ak tamit bi Talib Ahmed Bensouda ban rôle la mën a play ci UDP élection yu ñu jëm 2026.
waaw politique moom time baa ngi fa suñ ñaan bi mooy man suma focus as a politician young politician and a concerned Gambian is the opposition should get united so anything that disadvantages a single political party man duma ko dee rafetlu it's not something that is in the best interest of us common Gambians because ñun xam nañ comme ni waxee the tempest that we are under as a country so lima mun a wax si affaire yi Talib is simple I think warutoon a aaga fii and for that I personally think Talib am na missteps but Mr. Darboe tamit am na misstep yu mu am as far as the process is concerned again we are talking about how that affects or potentially affects UDP. We have to now look at kan mooy Talib as far as UDP is concerned. If parties have pillars, organizing secretaries are pillars or part of the pillars. Parce que amul benn activity bu parti def in terms of involving the grassroots wala am outil karta fekke organizing secretary amu fa role. More mobilize, logistics, and so many other, even strategy, bokana si party. So if it is a tree that has fallen or potentially is going to fall, it is a baobab tree. You may not like it, but that's the truth in terms of balance bumu occupy on. Ak chance bumu amon in the party. Yes, man, I don't know Talib. Let's be frank. UDP more ko def Talib bunyu neka def. And that means Talib cannot be bigger than UDP. Why you cannot also underrate mom in terms of connection, relationship, emotional attachment, ak role bumu am UDP. Role bobu UDP waruñ ko even maslaha in terms of wamana dem na de. Why man suma don UDP we will look for ways to reconcile with everybody including Talib. If Talib assuming dafa bëgg dem. The reason is simple. In politics, you need numbers. It doesn't matter whether it's 1, 2, or 20. Talib has been in that position for long now. We will say it, even if it's 2 years la am. Lu bari la ham si parti bi, lu bari la parti hamal ko. Te Talib am na numbers tamit. Gis nañ ne, at least gis nañ ne yóbbu na foofu MC Cham si parti bi. Gis nañ loolu at least. So let's assume Talib is going. There is a great chance ne you will have MC Cham going. MC Cham might be just 1 vote. But at the end of the day, it's number. That is minusing. And me as opposition, who doesn't even want Bago to be there, I don't like that. So, man limo yakar moy, the party as Mr. Mane Numkowahe, reconciliation is very important at this moment. Man, people can have reasons of leaving party. To you, it may be not genuine, it may be genuine. Yola, why no is something important to them. And you cannot downplay that. In terms of insults, abuse, and all other things, let's be frank, we are all in this Gambia. Yes, we may not have evidence ne ki party member la kada mungini mo saga bes nangam. But if the association is with UDP, we want to see drastic measures from the party in terms of control lolu wala minimize ko. Lolu tamit dafay dimbale party bi ak opposition bi. Why all the time, APS di saga. All the time, APS, some of them are not our members. Okay, what are you doing to curtail that? How many have you taken to court? What are you doing? If you are not doing much, still, people will associate it with you. So I think the party should really have a very, very, aggressive, way
even before politics. They have, the party leader have a strong connection with Talibla family, Talibla Mero, you understand? Like other candidates also, or other people because Najibi also, the flag bearer have a strong connection with Uncle Amadou. Because Najibi, if you go to the family level, the former finance minister Amadou Sane, Mole Mealonko, and then they have a family tie. You understand? And again, you come, since 1996, and if you listen to Usenlo Diamo B, you understand? It was even emphasizing on that. I think Amadou Lele, Nimpati, Sikanyola, for B, for the running temperament B. So, Usen is someone we have connection with Munyo Abiji, and he has once stood for a lot of people in this country. You understand? So, B, UDP Dungole Ola Nyintuko, Kunu. Na nyosa bol soto tale bar nyosa bol be soto men ko wala nyinto ko kukulin mbela ngani be wolto mbela ngani o men to wala nyinto ko pour que UDP mansakunda soto nyim banko wanya anu mansakunda de mo be titano mo be taklano president mo killing wol dron wala be tombon na kake president mo killing dron anu mo kilome yalon ko wanya tombo be bi tembo men to as we are speaking ale Ousainou Darboe news to safe ka fako Ousainou Darboe UDP be wol tombo na beef ale wo safel ha ale wo safel wo be larin kat nim jongo yalon ko ilata alala alon ko ala safe fenna wod ko bi nyol lungo bi arabo Ousainou Darboe UDP ngol ba tombo na ka kele flag bi arata so bayil Ousainou tombo ntala say ndebe même fola moli wolo nyindi ko UDP parti dongolo ne Ousainou diamo moy bi ala diamo senata bakel ameta ka advice wol mel di UDP parti dongolo the same advice so la muta wala kam aya tandi ko politiko me yalon ko ndiro be tata jen kana o politiko kana jamfa o politiko la politiko me yalon ko wole ben dam maltala ko no jamfa o politiko la ako differential mel ben tema ako pour no differential bula Ousainou have been saying this and be ala diamo kono ayin ko tala he emphasize on some of these words to nala during the process dole kuma sangara lungul fole anu kuma sangara lungul niajibe afota amang fo mo kilima I am not saying this because I'm justifying ko monyanta ka monen moma nyanda ka ndiro niaji be hono musanda bal diamo kono ay modo la diamo fo bi me ya lon ko ayata Ousainou nañ bara kuma fo Ousainou ma me ya lon ko wallahi azim ay kuma jaw baale fo Ousainou Darboe ma ay kuma jaw baale fo Ousainou Darboe ma bar bi kabrim ba Ousainou bo fo kan I was even crying so kuma jaw balle for the Ousainou ma nyim banko kanjang but because he have the country at heart because he have UDP at heart because he always sit and remember anin jumal le start nyola fo bibe balur na bang fo mantara balur. So this is why bearing the party leader of the party adi amtale anu ay même fo wolum nyutu ko akol na Cairo sabatani ndamal tema ako melka nan droki andum Nyawuru kuma kilim fo jang nyata ka haklo to baki bi ye modoje aya fang associate ko mu UDP wallahi atara man ke UDP bari joran wolum ya samanan ne pour ya ke joran di pour ka do anon ko kilim ñaaw gan dama bëgg leeral loolu mom arama leeral ko fi da nga gis ne amin niti yu bari am ne dende duga ci saka yi understand dafa nek ci heti hep bo da nga gis ne yene ñu bari ñu am ne sax du ay soose dende laka soose di saka because the mentality of people ne kep ko am na dafay laka soose rek koko UDP la dañ am mo la miro ka ko mo yalon ko kam man ka comfort mo UDP le so ne man ka nan romo do mo UDP but I can tell you if you go to some of yalon because normally some of the audios viral back be normally I mean in terms of local languages normally I can man ka count let but neither all the tribes solto ikatarale political be auto nyaming I mean come on yalon so but audio maybe because of ibuka finti back o nyama but womu fennet me yalon ko amanyi nya nobody is justifying nentro here anunda be mem for la UDP party dingole wala nyinti ko alla party leader diamuta adiamuta but be adiamuta for at a point he was almost crying I mem for akong UDP dingul anu I mem for nyinti ko ako sign ako UDP yes ye loi bu ko mel lendi nendiro la karola anin kol mel yalon ko misbehavior la karola ako UDP is going to use that tool ako UDP is going to use that tool to expel people from the party ayo fole ko UDP ba make sure ko momo ye fang associate UDP la sign e ka mol neng e ka bula molla wulula la akwa be jeral UDP e bay bar même fala mol fana mel yalon ko e mantara UDP kono e mantara UDP kuto because this thing need to be very clear moliye UDP ko len jande moliye UDP ko la alfal na nyim banko kan jande masakunda man fem fo la karola bari moliye president len jande sina kelin doron ya siga ya samba kiti yola all right bari wo be ma fo ko we are justifying ko mo nyanda kan droga nan dabol nen drodo so ndebe mem fo la wala nyun ko Lord Mayo is our brother. You understand? I mean, like I said, disagree and disagree. Gambia, you yourself, you know very well here. Lord Mayor re-election, you know the role I play. You know it. Because I, platform 2018, I campaigned for Lord Mayor. 2018, Mojele UDP la Palazzo to be the Lord Mayor of KMC. 2018. But 2018, out of them, UDP not Lord Mayor la select. Alea tel harji Palazzo la was Samala. UDP call Sonda, UDP call a carter of fire. Papa Njai Benunjel, Mustafa Ture Benunjel, Musa Jammeh Benunjel, and Musa Jammeh is from Bakau. Ture is from Bundung. Papa Njai is from Serakunda, Diwakunda. Yes, okay. Good. All these people bear Palazzo Nyinele. But out of all of them, Natalib select. I am saying this word because Gambian Kolo Akum Mahata Bakele, let us nakar na tilimke. Mule tilimke. B. Modol be diamle ko ha, e ko niaje UDP Kolo man talib, e talib feñola because if ko talib man ke man ko. Gambian Kolo moye tiling ni altemola. For 2018. Kabenga talib tombo. For UDP Kolo malong, natara man ka man ko for UDP Kolo malong ba. But for talib ni man nga dingol la man lo banka Palazzo ni. Talib ni mandinka dengul la lotay Palazzo ni talib ni surwal lota kanyum Palazzo ni talib ni sido la lota kanyum Palazzo ni but ale talib la safe ale ya safe ko talib le be kala tombo ni do motije likewise mu fota bima bi fanan mo jelle ya safe bi mo tannin kilim wala ya safe talib da bodo je mo tan wala tuto je o mo tan ko no mo saba wala ta carte fayola o mo sabol ñu ko ma fako e bota mun tole ite mo si jumaati ite mo minati UDP ke la tommondiro kani wala nyama Gambian kolu nin ko mbe ñi si fatam fansi ko ñin tala mbe o escalate la o mbe si fatam fansi ko tala mbe sila kan o mbe mobile la carte fayola because of namandra cycling wo miro nyanda kawo bo ñoo ko kono le bi nim president baro tuta ñim banko kanjang kukili wala ko maro ñindi ko bi kol ya be ñim banko kanjang abe siyo be takla ñim banko kanjang kol ya be ñim banko kanjang wallahi bi ne president baro tu ñim banko kanjang bi abe siyo be takla ñim banko ko the incompetent appointment so mel be ke kam masa ko da kono bi Gambian ko be ñaajel the opportunity Gambia be foko opportunity mel na jang be yalla bi so at the end of it membe jawolo ñindi ko especially the youth funding kewul my fellow youths
okay
my fellow youths bekuma xel ne falale wala ñu let's see Gambia has our country ngana so moliye manipulate UDP is an institution and UDP we have our 5-point agenda and before 2026 we might develop a new agenda also mais yalla because upgrade la we are going to upgrade it and ñu upgrade menoñing bi because nte funding kewol de I am funding kewol la ko mu fenet me yalon ko aben so konol that is why ba useno ñun ka bi ngay go ba useno nga look at the people mel be no ma jam mel be borke no ma jam ajama be mu funding kewol what do you have for ñum funding kewol akonyo ko nte ba useno akonyo ko funding kewol are so dear to me ako bara mandam funding kewol damal de ndingol they are so dear to me alfal they are so dear to me but Gambia is so dear to my heart anu mba mek solo la ko nin nata man sakunda kono mba mek solo la ko mbe lola funding kewol yele mbe lola alfaal yele mbe lola dindingol yele because they all have a role to play in this country.
Thank you.
Oto mba fula mole ko momo ya lon ko in your career throughout the process and then especially if I offend anybody nte I as a person I am appealing to the entire Gambians ni atarante momo offend during the process but at the end of it we have now come to the end of process. Okay. Like the way we came to the end of process, the other process all mele alon kon tambitela. Kabrimbe process all kekan nung, mol kuyatale, mol yenyo sabale. But kabri ko UDP nyele tom mondrong, mol be wakil tele mbulate mari nyon noma, mba fola Gambian ko le ko disagreement all ketele, agreement all keta, but bi ala ye tom mondro kele, ala tom mondro kele, ala Ousainou Darboe din tolla, mbe parele la ka Ousainou Darboe wa fi Gambian ko luma, mole me ya lon ko mo senawlemu andum nin Gambian ko le karto faye ay be Gambia kala more than Singapore.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Nyang, quickly bala ñu dem suñu benen top bu na ñu laal ci appointment yi nga xamne President Barrow def nako but lan ngay analyser rek situation yu talib comme ci parti UDP ndax unity bu ñoo woote léegi dina yomb ak tamit 2026 bu ñu jëm pour génne fi président Barrow but am na ñu bëri ñu jàpp ne taalib def ci war a bokk te taalib dafa am di numbers comme ni ko gars yi di waxee yow ban nooy jàngate loolu noonu.
waaw when it comes to politics moom it's about numbers and even sudu taalib sax teg naa ne UDP tey su amoon benn member bu génnoon UDP loolu is going to be a big loss to UDP. Togles ku nga xam ne tamit saaf na first term saaf na second term as mayor so obviously dama gëm ne lu waroon a mun a ñàkk la su nekkoon ne there was effective communication whilst comme certain things mu ngi doon happen te affaire yi saaga moom dafa amul space in our democracy no mata si kum jógee because ñun amoon nañ scénario bu mel noonu in a meeting so kooku jël plateforme bi instantly rek door di saaga di wax so sila kande order wane protocol bi na dem pour mu stop ko so bu mu ko stopé mu gis boppam mu feel ne maybe dañ ko doya dal so wan ko ne this is not the platform pour nga war a mun a saaga so mu feel ne at one point xëjuma GDC kon I have to leave then dem na tey maa ko gis yenn parti so ñu amoon beneen case ku nga xam ne dafa on record audio yeneen mu saaga nit executive mit wan ne kii dañ war a binda pour woon ko and if the same thing passes amuñ no option dan ñu daaxa ko suñ parti because one thing lu ma xam mooy gis nga tey in politics Nyawuru tey su nekkoon ne bugga na maa convince pour man ma ñëw UDP saaga ma wala xas ma du tax man ma bàyyi GDC ñëw UDP teg naa ne su ma saaga sax di ma xas man ak moom jaama mënut a nekk suñ diggante te ku nga xam ne jaama nekkut seen diggante mënu leen di waxtaan ba nga ko convince pour mu bàyyi fu mu nekk mu ñëw mu fekk si la kon nag ban interest la saaga am in our democracy because tey ñun opposition si wala even su dul opposition si sax
teg naa ne war nañoo jël trend bu nga xam ne at the end of the day teg naa dina gën a build more hopes in Gambian people to make sure ne at the end of the day lii lu ñoo ut 2026 dinañ ko am because tey xam nga lii dafa am benn stain bu mu def because tey in as much as maybe ñene yaa ngi comme Nyawuru mu ko waxee maybe mu gëm na ne mun naa nekk strategy bu nga xam ne it is employed by people from outside but xam nga right now loolu moom mun na koo agree waaye masses bi spécially ku bokk si ñoom moo génn si wane ne ñu ngi ko doon saaga te saaga bi yëpp soo ko bàyyee xel mooy maa ngi doon ut place bi xam nga loolu already rek onosaan nga dafa am lu mu def si lu nga xam ne waroon naa mun a ñàkk so in as much as ñëpp xam nañ ne opinion si cannot be the same kii su waxee taalib A obviously kële dina wa bii si taalib which should be respected waaye dama góom ne it should not have been entertained to this level and parties yi tamit they should adjust gis nga buñ am nit yu nga xam ne the only thing they can offer to a party mooy saaga and we believe that they must be in a party no because gis nañ ko even ci yenn biggest platforms yu nga xam ne ñëpp a ngi ko seetaan yeneen nit mooy taxaw saaga party leader especially opposition party leader si plateforme bu nga xam ne government officials ñooy toog président mooy toog ñu gis ne there is nothing that is done out of that obviously you are trying to empower this person one ko ne you can continue with the same attitude in a platform like that gis nga lu nga xam ne dañ gëm ne is not in line with what we want to sell to the Gambian people we should put a stop to it now even if you are going to sacrifice that individual man saagakat I will not even listen to you because am na ñu nga xam ne man personally I believe ne lu ñoo wax amalut ma njëriñ because tey is better man nga ñëw war ma ne ñang war loo mun a nekk GDC because seen policy A B and C does not represent the country in a better way then ñëwal to my party because I believe my policy does than yours xam nga I can agree to that but léegi saaga bi gis nga am na fu ñu ko entertainer te taalib lu mu am tey su doon génna comme sa waa ji nu mu highlighté MC it's possible it will not only be MC di nga am ñeneen ak ñeneen ñu nga xam ne dinañ génn te UDP to keep those numbers is to their interest that you lose that number to other people because at the end of the day ñu ñëpp lu ñoo bëgg a mooy pour génne ko fa waaye UDP as far as that division wala ñu ngi realize ne Talib no one knows what he is going to do next that's why it's very important ñu ko jegeñ let them allow people to speak their mind because Talib dafa nekk si position bu nga xam ne he should listen to every opinion because loolu moo ko dimbale pour mu make next decision about his life either dafa stay or either dafa dem wala either dafa dem seeti neneen du moo def
Nyawuru okay since you are of special guest balaa ñuy move suñu other topic bi da nga am loo bëgg a comment
waaw dafa am lu ma bëgg a comment so Ibrahima lu mu wax comme wax na ko fii xam nga if we want to curtail saga it has to start from the highest office. I can vividly remember during the former regime, Yahya Jammeh's time, an important person who is still part of the government system by the name, she goes by the name Fatou Jahumpa Cissé. Fatmata Jahumpa Cissé. Start talking about the United Democratic Party and the leader in such a manner before she proceeds. The President Biden, who happens to be Yahya Jammeh, stopped her, asked her to come down, and that is where it stopped. Ku nekk nag nga wax sa diggante ak Yàlla. Xam nga leadership dafa am yeneen qualities yu fa dee nekk. Loolu lan la laa woon xam nga lan la laa wax soo ne Yahya Jammeh bon na su bon di am Yahya Jammeh kenn mooy bon de waaye du nanga ku nekk si boram bon de moom loolu vico su nekkee xam nga lu ñoo oon yi yëpp corruption sàcc su ne Yahya Jammeh nga ne sàcc na waaye ku nekk si boor Yahya Jammeh soo sàccee su la téye doo xalaataat loolu this yoo xam ne def dee dimbali réew I'm not supporting anarchy, dictatorship, or by ruling by the iron fist. I'm not promoting and propagating for that. People even within his party, in those days, we are never propagating for that. Because absolute power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is unchecked power. That is the reality. Nobody has the right. It's only Subhanahu wa Ta'ala the God Almighty that has that power. Because he will not transgress against anybody. He will give you when you are deserving, and he will not deny you when you should be accorded one. That is not a human nature, that is godly. Lima was in tenka si gata.
Okay.
Everybody is witness to that. If those things can happen on a platform where the people with authority you want to regulate situation, when you have to wadara. Hamga Gambia fi akumbabu amde akumbabu amunde ya fi ne. People are victimized because of their political opinion. That is called psychological dictatorship. Mone kasi de kabifi. Ablay suwa he rek. They don't put anything to implicate Ablay. Si nunge kesa den koton. Doing what dara they will just amplify ne Ablay li agli just na kofi. I will say it here because I didn't have the opportunity to talk about that. And def manahari. Te dinako fi wah. It is no longer the person you see. It's what he brings to the table. Me, I don't agree with Ablay on many issues. That should not be a yardstick for him to be transgressed even in his family life. And that family life, I was privy to many information that I got from independent people. I got from Ablay on other sources. That what all transpired. And Ablay was trying to avoid many of those mishaps, going through the legal system, police, numerous reports, numerous checks. These are type of things you have to a developed society you must go and part away with. If you encourage that to apply today, tomorrow who else? Lumoda, Lolumanko, Nyawlo, Banyo, Bugumako. Lila Lawa, Saga Binyo Wani, ak Saga, you have political power. The leaderships in all political parties should take their stance. And for the United Democratic Party, then Diego. The moment you lean towards us, whether you are a card holder or non-card holder, when you do it, we disassociate ourselves with you publicly, law def. And there are cyber laws in this country. What is the police doing to use those cyber laws to stop cyber crime and cyber bullying? They are there, let them use it for the benefit. I am not asking the government to weaponize our laws, but let them use it to safeguard our integrity and social security in this country. Because those are very important. It's a requisite for development and mutual coexistence. Fima thank you work bobu nono bala ñu duga ci benen wa. Ñu ngi ñaax ñep, especially politicians within the United Democratic Party. Nañ come together lu passé na. Waaye leena dina ko wan ñi ñep ñu déglu lolu ak xel. Doomi Adama soo mënee doon dara fo nga am sabab am nga fu nga commencé. Bu doomi Adama dem be bew faate lu la def li nga doon loolu joxul kenn tamit doole boobu noonu ñi ko jox boobu noonu gëngel boobu ak ngeneel boobu jël opportunity boobu pour abuse ko or exploit loolu waaye it's a give and take situation. At the end of the day, nobody is bigger than the Gambia, nobody is bigger than your community or the people you represent.
All right.
Because the good in Talib Ahmed Bensouda is the UDP that realized it, saw it, and they selected him from a lot and made him our candidate.
All right.
He didn't disappoint in any way when he was selected. We have antagonists in those days. Gambia is a complex society. In those days, the people who were calling him all sorts of names are today the people who pretend to love him. We love him more. Let this sink in. Because there are certain people in those days, I just want to say this here, because we're talking about insult. A citizen of this country who is a public and a civil servant in the name of one Lamin Kamara, dumb side manager of the KMC, made a very horrendous, a very despicable audio insulting the entire UDP, especially the Jarankas, and the people calling them names. He forgot there was a time when I was campaigning for Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda in 2018. Nyato. And in 2018, he was in Papa Njai's vehicle against him, Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda. He can't love him more than I do. He will never love him the way I do.
All right.
But he's just there to safeguard his position. And this is a warning to the government. Let them do something about that. Or else we'll do something about that.
Thank you.
Because somebody cannot use your public office, start insulting an entire organization with its membership, especially a region. He might call himself a Nyominga. We have a banter between Nyomi and Jara. But when it comes to politics and when it comes to that state, you cannot take that opportunity to do it publicly. You can do it personally. We have a joking relationship and we know how it works in this country. But Garmi, to tell each other the truth, Lamin Kamara should be called upon and taken to task to do the needful and resign.
Thank you.
Because as predicted of the Constitution, a civil servant, abuse of office, a civil servant should not openly be political. You should be apolitical in your dispensation because you are a representative and a servant of everybody regardless of their political stance, affiliation, or representation.
Thank you. Thank you. 15 minutes rek lañ am moo tax te lii bëgg naa ngeen comment ci ku nekk 2 minutes rek ngeen dimbale ma pour ñu manage time bi. Yes, 2 minutes rek. Mooy président Adama Barrow announce na cabinet changes boo xam ne immediate effect la ki nga xam ne mooy trade minister Baboucarr Ismaïla Diouf moom la def léegi minister of defence moom ki ko replace moom Baboucarr Ismaïla Diouf mooy di auditor général Modou Cissé léegi moom la ñu appoint pour mu nekk di new minister of trade industry regional integration and employment ci bopp cabinet reshuffle bi tamit ki nga xam ne mooy Thierno Amadou Sow di director of internal audit moom lañ daal di yéegal pour mu nekk auditor général while ki nga xam ne mooy Mansiré Dramé moom mooy nekk di acting director of internal audit. Nyawuru looy comment si loolu because of but lu gën a trigger public discussion wala reaction ci yu bari mooy ki ñu appoint minister of trade ñu yóbbu ko ministry of defence ñu bari jàpp ne amul benn background ci wàllu defence ak mbiru yooyu noonu so yow ban noo ci lan moo waaye naa ñëw nga react xaaral I'm not coming to you it's not your turn so yow looy react just 2 minutes please.
Legality is important, but there are 2 scenarios here.
Okay.
One, I beg to differ from many people's opinion. Being the defense minister, there are 2 scenarios. One, definitely, you need some security background. Because you're talking about defense. If you put somebody who is responsible for trade, come, Jai, life I'm here because Baboucarr Diouf, if I can understand, he came through the ranks and he was permanent secretary for so many years in that.
No. He was at GT.
Okay, boy. Okay, it's not boy.
Ismaila
Was the MD
okay,
for
was
GTUCC. Yes.
He was credit union.
Credit union.
You understand somebody who has been a teacher for entirety of his life. He spent so much time in the classroom and educating people. Fine. Taking him to trade, maybe he will do a little bit better that way. When you serve under credit union, you can be easily assimilated. But when it comes to defense, interior, it has to be strategic. You have to. It's a requisite. In other countries, you can never occupy those positions when you have not even served in the army. Never. In other countries. And it's not only in the army, you have to be of the highest cadre. You have to be a general, beyond, or above. General above. Because the CDS will be answerable to you. The National Security Council will be answerable to you. How can you coordinate? How can you know the security implication of certain things? How can you be briefed by the CDS with certain security information when you don't even understand how security should be managed, how it should be done, and in which facet should it be taken care of? Somebody else might say, as a state minister, you are a policy driver. If you are smart enough, you are a fast learner, with the orientation and the support of competent permanent secretaries, you can also, with all due respect, you can also perform beyond expectations. But that is a risk. And when you're talking about a portfolio like the Ministry of Defense, you don't need to take those risks.
All right.
Because I am telling you as a policy driver, if you have good permanent secretaries, but how many permanent secretaries are within the defense who also have served as military officers? So when you have permanent secretaries who are not military oriented and they don't have security expertise, you have a minister who was a teacher, you have a dormant ministry. Or you are liable to being misinformed by people who know security more than you do. When they even speak in their language, you'll not even tend to understand what they are talking about. Because you see me here, I'm not a military officer. But as of today, I can tell you I have a new name. Not only general, it's General Territorial Commander, Regional Boundaries.
All right. All right.
With that portfolio, I can be minister.
All right.
So this is not what we're yearning for. We're yearning for, you know, why are you talking about this? The most important thing, Garmi, is we want the best people with the best expertise for our portfolio so that we can have maximum input and expect maximum output.
All right.
But garbage in, garbage out.
All right.
Policy driver should be top notch. Policy driver should be a bureaucrat and expertise and an expert of the highest cadre. When you are a military officer of the highest cadre, when you appoint General Lantombo Tamba, I will not talk.
All right.
He serves CDS. When you appoint Usman, I will not talk. When you appoint Masane, I will not talk.
All right, thank you.
When you appoint somebody who was a classroom teacher,
thank you.
Are we serious?
Thank you.
Are we serious?
Thank you.
We should not take our positions also
Okay, thank you.
To be patronizing people because of political affiliation
All right.
or political patronage.
Thank you.
No,
All right.
non-starter.
Yeah, Mr. Nyang, just 2 minutes, please. Yes, lan mooy sa reaction to that cabinet reshuffle wala mën nañ ko mini reshuffle sax because of definitely some changes.
Yes.
But li gën a attaque nit ñi mooy Baboucarr Ismaïla Diouf bi nga xam ne moom la def Minister of Defence jëlee ko Minister of Trade.
Well, technically, lii yëpp is down to Baboucarr Diouf now as an individual. Because technically, irrespective of what should happen, technically is very important. Nga jiital the interest of the nation before you. Man nag is not a by force pour moom mu liggéeyal Barrow wala moom pour mu dem defense. But gëm naa ne if he is very honest with the Gambian population, gëm naa ne moom du accept that rule. Te am na right pour mu ne daf ko reject. Because lu tax dafa put so many things into a serious risk. Because obviously, mënuñ laa yóbbu fu nga xam ne is completely, you are completely zero over there. Yow nga pare, with all honesty, nga accept that position. I am not looking forward to it. Because being as Minister of Defense is a very sensitive area. Area la bu nga xam ne any poor decision mun naa result to something that is very negative towards this country. Ba pare yaa ngi dem head fu nga xam ne obviously comme ni nga ko waxee you don't have no background when it comes to security. It's zero. So obviously I will not go there simply because the president wants me to go there. I will go where I will accept to work where I can make an impact. But simply do not for them to please anybody. So say that changes bu am Auditor General bu ñëw bu fii nii naka la turaat sax the Ministry of Trade.
Yeah.
Ministry of Trade. Technically, this Auditor General has been doing his work very well. So I believe the government, they are not happy with him, especially when it comes to transparency. Gis nañ fii ñu ne since 2021 ñi daa ngi complain ñu ne audit report ci génnut waaye di nga gis ne previously yu génnoon sax Barrow mu ngi see wane ne how frustrated or how angry he is when it comes to this report. So dama gom ne is an agenda moo tax mu génnee ko fa pour yóbbu ko fële. So I am not even hopeful ne kuy ñëw dina def the good job like kii nu mu doon def. So obviously loolu mu ñëw dina access for us to know how our resources are being spent. So it's not fair completely. Te gom naa ne it should not have been happen. Why it's left to these two because read naa ne ñu ne kële moom daf ko reject. I don't know how true is it. That is the Auditor General. Te bëggoon naa mu stick on the ground. Baboucarr Diouf tamit if he is honest with the Gambian people, obviously that should not be his position because foofu should not be a landing ground. So man this is what I believe in since time nekku fa.
Okay. Mr. Bojang nan nga gisee mbir.
Yeah, bu gàtt rek we need a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do anyways as a country. I want to believe there is this thing we are championing all the time, security sector reform. And I think it should be done by experts. I believe it should be led by experts in domains like defense, like interior. So to attract the best talent, to give it to the best people in the area is just going to be marvelous to do. The president appointing people, I'm not sure, but my understanding or my knowledge as far as Mr. Juve is concerned is he's more into teacher thing and credit union thing and stuff like that. Yeah, so I think he could do better in those areas than defense. Again, we are at a very critical point. We have the Senegalese leaving the Gambia. They were the ones who are having our intelligence, and they still continue to have intelligence or access to our intelligence. Having somebody who does not know A and B in security is risky. And these people, we pay them so handsomely that we should begin to attract the best. They have absolute knowledge, they are seasoned, they are experienced, they are tested in this area. What is the essence of having people train, go to UK, Sandhurst, go this, and then they come here, they are generals, they have the knowledge, you don't appoint them. But you will go and give people who don't know A, B, and C in that area. Especially in this case, as it appears to be. Mr. Juve does not have any security background. He may have any, I don't know, but as far as I know, the public knowledge is, he has not got any.
It's your time.
Okay, I give it to you. I give it to you. Take it.
The worst thing that we should all cry foul for is the fact of the matter. This guy who was the Auditor General who is moved.
It's bribery.
It's another sign. It's another sign of the government trying to suppress an honest guy, because he has done so well. This guy, when he came into office, he has shown many lapses, many misappropriation, many missing funds of government agencies, government departments, including the Ministry of Finance. Many lapses in the budget from 2019 to date. Gambians are very grateful to this individual. And moving him from his work and from his source of expertise, where he has been he came through the ranks.
According to unconfirmed source, you have decline that appointment.
He will, if people with integrity. I will tell you, Gambia here, you have people with integrity because his life is auditing. My brother, don't make him dormant. Don't make him useless. When you take an auditor to be a police driver, he cannot drive any policy. This guy is a seasoned fraud detector.
All right, thank you.
A fraud examiner. You call him, you want to just silence him because he's doing so much a marvelous job. He will not hesitate to engage any committee in the National Assembly or any department by calling you name. You misappropriate this and this. Retire your impress. Now you'll never hear that.
Right.
And this connection to family.
All right, please, we just have 2 minutes.
Wait.
But we just have 2 minutes.
1 minute. People are saying something.
No, 1 minute is too much.
But also be very careful of appointing people based on friendship or based on people close to his family.
Thank you.
Because what we are saying, the trend.
Thank you, Nyawuru.
He is validating what people are saying about him there.
All right.
It is transcending beyond qualification.
Okay,
now.
Thank you so much.
We're seeing it taking a trend that should not be for our society.
Okay. Yes,
yes. You say territorial commander, regional boundary.
Please,
the army, when they hear it, they know who I am.
That's fine. All right.
I was the general responsible.
Sirifo, please.
Garme, you see, for me, imagine the Auditor General, Mayor Alonko, is auditing the ministries, is auditing those ministers. Auditor General, at level ministerial audit can. Now, you want to tie his hand to go and put Eyeafrica Samba, I know minister later see. Kulomem baby, I signed this minika file. yesunyaro men findinda seta bagala sa ite mbe samal na ne bula na sunyar ka kono kono it's like they are forcing him to come and join them. Believe in me, you people think, look, ethically, I want you let's make research throughout the world. Wherever in this world you see an auditor general, ya bondi from an auditor general, dunia be kono, ya bondi from national auditor general, ya samanang as a minister, dunia kono nene kaje mundoldo. They are only doing it. President Barrow na la mansa kunda ibake ka menka mawolo nyunduko sunyaro luntapale yalu. Ye menke nyim masa kunda kono. Because kukul nebeje metembo men kono ayela kulul belon. Metembo men kono sunyaro men beke because the man is there and he knows exactly tinyaro me yalon ko President Barrow na la masa kunda yake. Say lefta men wolo nyunduko ntole tinyaro kele say lefta men ne defane nana nani bulo nondi. Ifane nana ifane demoni soro susu wonyim kono. Atakela jende anu Gambian kol wallahi al salon ko President Barrow be tulunkan na mansa kunda lele. President Barrow be tulunkan na fulo lele. President Barrow manyim banko so at heart. If you look at the defense ministry, when it comes in terms of defense, because if I do a thorough analysis on that part, you are doing security threat. But what is very important here? Look, Gambia dimo jelle 40. They serve as security in this country. So now, what is the essence of Nadingolu? Mbajo manka dia mutale. Mingi ninka dia mutale. Ite dingo. Me ya lonko ay sojar yake nyim banko kang. Nyim banko kang. Sanyi tang animfula. Sanyi muang. Atata karang America banko kang. Atata karang dunia banko kang. He is a security expert. Ay general yasura ali nyim fonko khoda. Ye wol bondi nyim banko kang. Ye sam ambassador yalla ite sindi table ken sama kang. Mome ya lonko among fell long security code. Security be sensitive to nyame. But in fact, forget about those who are in the embassies there. But let's ask ourselves. Gambia dungu jelle bi nyim banko kang jamel ya lonko they are even serving in the military. Smart people, security expert, even go. Ajarata fongo ita police, maybe some of the police officers they were former gendarmeries. Yes, samana ye appoint as defense ministers because security is paramount. But President Barrow he doesn't care about the security of this country. He have no regard among regards for our military officers, for our police officers, and this would be an eye opener. Imagine your domain. Imagine your profession. It's like I told you membe karambungo. I told you studies membela. President Barrow he has no interest about your knowledge. He has no interest about I told you menkaram from the school. This is how President Barrow and his people are putting us on the trail. And let me tell you something. President Barrow is a president mayor along. He have almost about 10 advisors. 10 advisors, this man. He have about 10 advisors. He have about 3 special advisors. Are these advisors not advising the president? My brothers, President Barrow brought Guinea-Bissau just recently. A president, Mayor Lonko, as we are speaking, the people of the Republic of Guinea, according to their constitution, the president lungu Mayor Lonko, wato bantal. At the family are push akoha ta kalta lumen. Wolu from banta kotanke.
All right.
The president in ana mur kotanke. Ay na banko put at risk. Kana bankola sembota kata president akaw meet. Kata foka ka awodo di wala. Who is advising the president? President Barrow is not competent to lead this country, and Gambians can understand. Okay. Imagine he is the key amount of the OIC. Gambian what benefit do we have from the OIC when President Barrow became
thank you.
President Barrow should use that position as the opportunity to sell this country to the international world. When do you have that President Barrow will visit even any of these Islamic states?
Thank you,
This man is a leader who is not competent to lead us. In fact, I don't think we should even call him a leader. Because a leader is someone, Mayor Lonko, you should lead by example. But President Barrow is actually going in the wrong path.
Thank you so much. jërëjëf
thank you so much.
jërëjëf Nyawuru Komma ci tey wuyu si bi ñu wuyu si fii nekk ak ñun ba waxtu wi ñu ngi lay gërëm bu baax a baax di gërëm tamit suñu panélistes yi Ibrahima Niang Abdoulaye Bojang Sirifo Sonko di nuyu tamit Doudou Dia tey mu ngi ñu waroon fekk nekk ak ñun fii waaye loxoom jàpp di leen gërëm bu baax di gërëm tamit suñu yeneen panélistes yëpp di leen gërëm di gërëm tamit team bu ma ànd ak ñoom Manga bu autocratic bu Seyri Hadi Diassi ñoom ñëpp ñoom pass yi di leen gërëm bu baax a baax di gërëm tamit tey ki nga xam ne moom ma ñëwal li ma sol ni muy Adama di borom Star Creation ku bëgg rek ci ñaw bi wala yu dax ñaw bi ndomba bàyyi nii 224 4262 224 4262 yes.
ñu ñëw fii kay waxal gars yi ñu ñëw ñëwal.
no problème incha allah loolu dégg nañ leen dinañ ko def incha allah kon di leen gërëm bu baax a baax di jégalu tamit dañu waroon a ubbi line si ndax last 30 minutes yéen a ko moom boot dañ lee 30 minutes moo tax boot incha allah next Wednesday dinañ leen ko fay ñu ngi ciy jégalu bu baax a baax gërëm leen bu baax dig leen daje àllarba ba di ñëw bu ci yàlla ande mbokk yi jaa ngeen jëf.